versus Nova Imperium. So taking a look at the standings real quick, you guys will see right here, Trovo Mayhem currently up at the top of Division 1 once again. They had been passed up for a little bit by NL Esports, but they've actually stagnated at 65 for kind of, I think it might be 2 times in a row that they haven't gotten any points. So they have gone from first place all the way down to 4th place as they get passed by both Nova Invictus and Eleventy. Obviously, Nova Invictus and Eleventy both playing tonight as well. So lots of really solid matchups. Lots of Division 1 action, especially. I do also see LA Gaming is in here. Did they replace somebody else?
I believe they replaced Fierce, actually.
All right, that makes sense. So Fierce was previously at -20, so I mean, if you look at it points-wise, that actually makes Division 2 a little bit more competitive. Tribe Gaming obviously up at the top, and Nova Imperium looking to climb their way up, but they do have to go up against Trovo Mayhem tonight, so that is not going to be an easy task. And especially with Zygnus playing a matchup tonight as well. Not going to be an easy one going up against Tribe Gaming, but if they can snag a few points, that will be big for them too.
Chat, I don't know if you guys are allowed to be surprised that I have no hair at this point.
Yeah. If you're surprised at this point, you just haven't been paying attention.
Yeah, if you're surprised at this point, that means you're not watching enough Mobile Mayhem.
Exactly.
We're at the point that I have hair again.
Yep.
I can actually very, very carefully, but I can grab it. We have hair once again. Don't worry, guys. We're still doing the mustache. It's getting to the point that we're almost ready for that. I promised you I would do it. I will do it.
Yep. We do have all of our players loaded in, so it looks like the starting roster for Nova Imperium is going to be High, Wally, Hex, Forsaken, and Bye Bye. That's been pretty much their go-to recently, with the exception of Swag not being in there. Could potentially see him subbed in. When it comes to Search and Destroy, we'll have to wait and see on that one. And then over on Trovo Mayhem, we got Tectonic, Aerith, I believe Godsley, Vague, and Little Beat. So I would argue this is probably one of their most competitive possible lineups. And this is definitely going to be a really tall task for Nova Imperium.
Yeah, definitely going to be a good one to start off the night. Both of these teams obviously have all of the capability in the world to pull off a win here. So a lot of really big, exciting games that could go to Game 3 today. I know some of our past weeks of gameplay, guys, we've had several matches that ended up in pretty one-sided 2-0 victories. But today should be very different, as well as we actually have some pretty decent matchups next week as well. So.
Yep. And make sure that you guys are following the Amplified channel. That is where some of next week's action is going to be. If one of our mods or admins could go ahead and tag them, that would be fantastic. Just so that we can make sure everybody is ready to go. I believe it will be next Tuesday that we will have some of the games hosted on over there. That is going to be once a month. And for everybody asking who LAG is, it's LA Gaming. So that's one of the teams that you guys probably saw in one of the play-in games early on in the season when we hadn't started the official season action. So due to some spots opening up, we have had 2 new teams, 8 Kings and LA Gaming, making their way on in. We are going to run through the map picks and the bans real quick. As you can see, Nova Imperium banning Hardpoint on Crash for game number 1. Trovo Mayhem banning Search and Destroy on Crossfire. Trovo Mayhem's weapon banned the Man of War. If Noah was playing, if I had to guess, that probably wouldn't have been the case. But since he's not here, I feel a little more comfortable with it. Nova Imperium banning the ASM-10, probably the most commonly banned gun at this point in the season. Despite the fact that it was kind of nerfed, not really sufficiently enough to make enough of a difference, especially in the competitive scene. Game number 1 is going to be Standoff on Hardpoint. Game 2, Firing Range Search and Destroy. Game 3, if we go to it, is going to be Summit Domination, and definitely should be a good one. But it does look like we've got all of our players readied up, which means we should be good to go. hopping into game number 1.
Yeah, unfortunately, it looks like our interview for tonight gonna be a little behind. We do have an interview with Vague for you guys, but it will be after the next match. So, but we should definitely have a good game ahead of us here. I think between these two teams, I would personally give the Respawn matchup a little bit more of an edge over to the side of the Trovo Mayhem, but I would definitely expect Nova Imperium to have a pretty strong performance in Search. So we'll have to see if that ends up being the case. Lil B does pick up a double kill for the team there, but Nova are quick to answer back. Vague actually has a shotgun out. Not something we see out of a ton of players as of late, but definitely something that's becoming a little bit more relevant.
Yeah, it's definitely making its way back into the meta. It does look like Trovo Mayhem is going to take a solid lead right here. Surprisingly enough, Nova Imperium not electing to ban the Arctic 50, which we something that would have made a lot of sense, especially anytime you're going up against Aerith. And as you can see, she's off to a strong start. 3 kills on the board. Burgerman, a.k.a. Godsley, finds a big frag right there onto Forsaken. It is still Nova Imperium with control of the hard point, as there's currently only about 5 points separating these guys, and probably only going to be about 2 by the time we make the rotation on over to P2. You can see Little B already set up on the inside of the hard point, and Aerith finds yet another frag right there. She's trying to slow down the rotation. Actually hit markers onto Hacks, probably as a result of not having FMJ on there, and now making that rotation back up to top shops. She's going to spot him for the second time, does end up getting the frag, and it is going to be Trovo Mayhem ticking upward as they have very, very solid control of this hard point.
Yeah, and again, this is kind of what you expect. Just based off of their roster, they have a much stronger suited Respawn team than they do Search. And that has so far been the case. I mean, the feed is just constantly getting filled up with the Trovo Mayhem right now. You have Wally picking up a kill onto Little B there, but Nova, I think, are actually playing this smart. They understand that they're not going to get the break that they were hoping for on P2. They've gone ahead and get themselves ready and set up for P3. Tectonic picks up a kill, as well as High and Bye Bye both answer back very quickly. Bye Bye actually finding a double on Aerith climbing over the wall. And this is going to give Nova Imperium a great opportunity to kind of neutralize out the scoreboard at least a little bit. They have good positioning for several of their players. Bye Bye picking up a kill there, maybe able to find a double as well if he's able to find Little B here. He is going to find Little B as well. So this is a big opportunity for Bye Bye to get on point and potentially pick up another 50 points for the team.
Yep, it's going to be Tectonic making his way in with the War Machine, and that's going to shut down the hold pretty quickly for Nova Imperium, who has not been able to find their step quite yet. Tectonic doesn't find a frag right there, but manages to take out Wally on the inside of the hard point. A double kill onto High and Forsaken. 12 kills going in for him off the start, and honestly, especially given the way that Nova Imperium is performing, makes it that much more impressive. Forsaken, who we saw drop 53 kills, I believe, last week, stuck down at 3 kills. So probably not something that we expect to see out of him a lot, but definitely goes to show you just how good these Trovo Mayhem players are, especially Tectonic, up at 13 kills.
Yeah, and you absolutely would expect that out of Tech. He's been a staple player through season after season of Mobile Mayhem. Even in the past, when Tribe were struggling a bit, he did seem to be at the top of the team pretty consistently. So you definitely expect him to come through and really shine in some of these matchups. I mean, even against the harder teams. He's definitely one of the stronger players in the league. He does get the kill onto Forsaken there. A little bit of a wall clip at the end. And Trovo Mayhem pretty solidly ahead right now. So we do have members of Nova on point, starting to make rotations over. We have an Annihilator out for Little B. He's going to pick up 1, going to pick up 2, going to pick up 3 for himself before getting dropped by the frag by Bye Bye.
Yep, and the break is going to go in for Trovo Mayhem once again, so it was a pretty good amount of time for Nova Imperium, and I would not consider that hill a loss by any stretch of the imagination. They got a couple players setting up on P1 right here. You can see Aerith going to get taken out by Forsaken right there. High finds a frag onto Godsley, and just like that, Nova Imperium right back in it. Forsaken finds one onto Little B as well. Pre-fires Vague around the corner, and he is finding his rhythm right now. Nova Imperium on the hill once again. We do have High already up to 10 kills. First person in double digits for this Nova Imperium team. Wally looking to find a couple on the backside. Spots a Little B, not able to hit the shots, but it will be Nova Imperium. Oh, actually, the contest went in. Nova Imperium in control for a little bit, but with hacks dropping, it is going to be a hard point in control for Trovo Mayhem once again, as Tectonic has actually pulled out the chopper. Not something we've seen used a whole lot as of late, but 19 kills on the board for him, showing he can pretty much do it with any gun that he wants to.
Yeah, Vague has actually been pretty impactful as well, really utilizing the shotgun's close range in a lot of these hard points. And it does make a lot of sense, because this map specifically has been one in the past where shotguns really have had the potential to dominate. As we see, he does pick up a close range kill onto Hacks and Forsaken there as well. Picks up the triple onto Bye Bye as well. That's 15 on the board for him. That's going to help his team get a solid control onto the second rotation of P2 here. Frag is going to come out, but this is where you do have to start being a little bit careful for Vague, as you don't have as much optimization for that range advantage. He does have the right idea on where they are rotating, though. Very likely listening some of that out. Does miss the shot. He is still gonna survive. The kill's gonna go over to Lil B, but this is still control being maintained right now by the side of Trovo Mayhem.
Yeah, and right now, things are definitely not looking great for Nova Imperium. One thing to keep in mind is the theme that we've kind of seen for this Trovo Mayhem team is they've got so much fragging power, you really can't expect that they're going to lose a respawn. They might every once in a while, but it's really going to be the search and destroy where they really end up getting challenged. So they're up 110 points right now. A comeback for Nova Imperium at this point would be pretty much nothing short of a miracle, as we do see Vague making the rotation. Immediately takes out Bye Bye right there. Very nearly takes out High as well. And we do have Nova Imperium in control of the hill, but like I said, there's just so much fragging power. Tectonic with 27, Vague with 20, Little B with 16. Nobody above 16 over on Nova Imperium, and when that's the case, it's just going to be really, really tough for you to have any type of a shot. We do have Aerith getting sucked into a black hole right there, as Nova Imperium does remain in control, but just like that, Vague hops on the hard point. He's got gravity spikes. That's an easy kill for him, and they are going to continue to tick upward as they're only 30 points out of the win.
Yeah, you definitely, again, expect Trovo Mayhem to come through with a strong respawn performance just based off of the potent slayers that they have on their team. And that has been the case in a lot of their matchups. As you mentioned, where they will seemingly struggle the most will likely be in Search and Destroy, especially up against a team like Nova Imperium, being the likes of Swag with his incredible sniping prowess, if we end up getting to see him play here today, as well as High, a phenomenal player as far as his rotations and his gun skill when it comes to Search and Destroy. So again, you do definitely expect a little bit more of an advantage for Nova Imperium. However, the players on the side of Trovo Mayhem are just strong all around, even despite not having been playing for, or at least together, for quite as long as this Imperium roster has. So it's still a toss-up for Search, but I feel like if Nova is going to turn anything around, that's going to be where it's going to happen.
Yeah, and it looks like the game is going to come to a close right here. Nova Imperium not really able to get anywhere close to getting a break, and it's going to be a 250 to 112 win for Trovo Mayhem in game number 1. But like we said, they've definitely seen their share of struggles when it comes to Search and Destroy, and I've got a feeling game number 2 is going to be significantly more competitive. One of the funny things that I always see is people complaining about iPads on Trovo Mayhem, and ever since Little B switched over to phone, I don't think there's been an iPad top frag a single time. It's always Tectonic carrying, and a lot of people don't give enough credit to the phone players and the roles that they play. Tectonic with 34, Vague with 24, Little B with 19 right there, and obviously Aerith, anytime she's got the Arctic 50 in hand, going to be doing some damage. So We'll see if this Nova Imperium can turn things around. We know they've got a lot of experience when it comes to search and destroy, especially high in the sniping role. It does not look like right now we are going to have Swag joining the team, unless there's a potential that Forsaken gets swapped out right here, which I just don't really see happening. It might be that Swag not available tonight, but this roster can absolutely make it happen even without him.
Yeah, they absolutely can. And what's really important about this matchup for Nova is if they are able to pick up the win here in Search and Destroy, I think they stand a much more fair chance at domination. Looking at the history of this team, Hardpoint does tend to be their weakest lineup, regardless of the map that they're on. Moving into Search and Destroy, obviously they're a pretty solid search team, but moving into Domination is the respawn where they tend to get a little bit of their footing back together. So we'll have to see if they can push us to a Game 3. I hope they do, because a Game 3 between these two teams, I think would be much more eventful to watch than the Hardpoint we just watched.
Yep. We do have a couple Nova Imperium players adjusting loadouts and everything else. Once again, just surprised that nobody has thought to ban the Arctic. I don't think we've ever seen the Arctic 50 ban. There might be like 1 or 2 games in maybe like in the past week where somebody's done it, but overall, very, very rare to see it banned, and it's always one of the highest impact guns.
It was banned in 3 of the games on Tuesday.
Really?
Yep, the Trovo Mayhem versus Fierce, Exiled versus Nova Invictus, and Zygnus versus Xset. They all banned that. So that was Fierce, Invictus, and Xset. All 3 banned the Arctic 50.
Yeah.
And then for tonight's matchup, it is banned twice. That being in, looks like LA Gaming and Nova Invictus. So Invictus really not liking the Arctic.
Yep. And right now, just still waiting for some Nova Imperium players to ready up. I'm interested to see if Little B does continue to make that transition, especially now that he's on phone, over to the AR and SMG side. Especially with how good Tectonic is and how quickly he's improved. With the sniper in his hands, it's just absolutely crazy. The things that he's able to do with, honestly, up until like a season ago, I don't think he had ever used a sniper in competitive. So for him to be making the progress that he's been making, definitely really significant on firing range. Snipers always play a huge role, controlling that mid side, controlling the A side, and we will typically see a lot of these teams play really, really passive off the start, wait for their snipers to get first blood, and then they push it. And also interesting that none of these teams have decided to utilize dead silence at all. Obviously, it did get nerfed, but at the same time, it still has a little bit of utility in that you can be unnoticed whenever you're crouching or walking or whatever it is. So that may be something that we see come into the meta, and we actually did see that from 8 Kings in their matchup on Tuesday. Very well could make its way into the competitive meta for America, but without any more talking, looks like we are good to go for game number 2.
Yeah, should be a fun one. I gotta ask, though, we've got Swag in chat. Bro, why aren't you here sniping for the team?
Yeah.
I'm massively let down right now.
Yeah. It's pretty typical approach for both of these teams off the start. We do see Trovo Mayhem taking top wood, trying to find these picks. Tectonic holding down trailer, actually spots somebody crossing through right there. His laser is going to be visible, so more than, yep, high with a nice move right there. Looks like he was actually going to go for maybe the prone shot, but Aerith finds him on the inside, and just like that, it's a man down. But Forsaken with the Arctic 50 in hand is actually going to find Godsley right there. 4 players apiece, and we do have somebody on the backside over here. Hack's perfectly positioned, but not able to hit the shots that he needed. Vague's going to be able to take him out right there with an Arctic 50 in hand as well. I believe he's got a nice little ACOG or a 3 times on there. I'm not sure which one it is. And now Trovo Mayhem making the push all the way up to the bomb site. Vague's going to be able to get the plant right here. Aerith finds the frag on to bye-bye, and just like that, it's a 2v4, but Forsaken ready for the push on into trailer, finds Little B. That's going to be really, really big. Would love to find the wall bang on the inside of trailer, but nobody peeking that angle, at least right now for Trovo Mayhem. Aerith tries to hit the peak shot, not able to land it right there. She is able to hit the follow-up, and just like that, Wally all by himself, but there's 2 players on the inside of trailer. That's not an easy peak to make, only 53 HP, only 10 seconds to work with. There's not enough time for him to make it happen. Vague takes a shot. We got a little bit of a potato fest right here. He does finally end up dropping. It is going to be Trovo Mayhem taking round number 1.
Yeah, and that was a big round despite a couple big picks coming out of the side of Imperium out of Forsaken. And it is one thing that we have to watch out for this team, is they control a lot of sniper power between all of the players that they have. Wally, Forsaken, High, Swag, obviously, when we have him playing, and just to mention it there, First Blood actually picked up by Forsaken this round. This does give a little bit of an edge to the favor of Nova Imperium, which again is kind of what we expect out of them in Search and Destroy, is to be a little bit more on top. Kind of hard when Aerith finds 4 people in the first round, but, you know, Arctic 50 things.
Yep. She's actually rocking the Locust right now.
Is she now?
Yeah, definitely not a bad performance for her. Tries to find one on the top of 10. Forsaken actually just on that backside. Not peeking the right angle yet, and she barely misses the jump shot right there. But Forsaken with 3 kills already on the board, and that big first blood to slow down the push of Nova Imperium playing a really big role for them. Is we're currently a minute in and no type of progress going in for this Trovo Mayhem team. We do finally see Vague making the push up. Forsaken misses the initial shot, trying to hit the wall bang right here. Misses another one, and Vague somehow able to get the frag right there, just like that. It's going to be a 3v3. Vague gets the plant down right here onto A, and the pressure is going to be on for Nova Imperium. Hex, Wally, and Bye Bye all combined for 1 kill right now, so not a great spot to be. A really well-placed nade by his Hex. He's going to be able to get the frag on to Vague, but Burgerman, Godsley waiting in the back. He knows exactly where he needs to be, and it's now a 1v2 for Wally as he tries to make the push on back toward bathrooms. He's only got 19 seconds to work with. Does spot 1 player, but Tectonic is ready for him. Consistency is the name of the game, and Trovo Mayhem takes the 2-0 lead.
Yeah, Trovo Mayhem having a solid performance here, and honestly, Nova need to step it up here at this point. There's a lot of sniper power on both sides of the fence here, and so far it's been very back and forth for the most part. Forsaken 3 kills on the board, had a clean opening pick in that last round, but with the likes of Vague and Godsley just picking people off left and right, made it a little bit difficult for them to make it on over to the bomb, and it's really a rough spot to see Nova Imperium in, honestly. I definitely expect to see them coming through with a little bit more oomph, as Vague does pick up high there.
And if you look on over at Nova or at Trovo Mayhem, they have 5 snipers in play right now. So you can see the snipers have completely taken over in Search and Destroy. Little B finds his first frag right there. That's going to open up the bomb site as well. Trophy is going to go down. Vague now making the push on up to the bomb site. Wally and Bye Bye going to be the only players remaining as Aerith finds another pick. Finds another onto Bye Bye as well. 6 kills on the board for her. And she's going to find Wally too. Just nothing going for Nova Imperium, as Aerith is really not missing right now. 7 kills on the board for her through 3 rounds.
Yeah, phenomenal performance coming out of Aerith here right now. And 7 kills on the board, obviously nothing to scoff at. Especially using one of the lesser used snipers, at least currently this season. Obviously, we normally see a lot of players pulling out the Arctic 50 just due to that broad one-shot potential. I mean, a foot shot is enough to take somebody out. So, obviously, there's a lot of versatility in being able to have that degree of forgiveness. And Aerith has just decided she doesn't need it. She's just going to land her shots, pick up the kills. Godsley finds 2 beautiful kills there. That was fantastic. I'm glad I flicked over just in time for that. And that puts 4 on the board for him. And Nova, unfortunately, just really struggling up against the range out of the likes of Trovo Mayhem here. High finds a wonderful slide shot onto Godsley there, evening things up 3-3. And maybe this is the little bit of the break that they need here, but...
Yeah, that was really big, but Little B actually is going to find High right there. Forsaken waiting at the top side of that tire area, and now as we see Bye making the really aggressive push on in, I'm not sure this is the move. Had Forsaken been able to get the frag right there, it might have been, and he actually gets a two-piece. Just like that, it's a 1v1, but he's up against Aerith, who has 8 kills through the first 4 rounds of the game, and that's not going to be an easy task. The smoke is going to go in. Currently trying to bait out a push from Aerith, but you can see playing it very, very patiently, and it's going to be a wasted smoke as she now makes the push on into the site. Forsaken doesn't see where she is initially, but able to dodge the initial shot, but there's only 10 seconds to work with. Not a great spot for Forsaken to be, and now Aerith, all she has to do is play time right here. Nearly had the shot, and he actually does end up hitting it, but he's not going to have enough time to get the defuse, and it is going to be Trovo Mayhem now taking the 4-0 lead.
Yeah, this is unfortunately super detrimental and painful for the side of Nova Imperium. You definitely would like to have Swaggin here, obviously, as the more dominant sniper, at least for Nova Imperium. I mean, again, they have players that can perform. They have a strong sniper line across the board. But as far as consistency goes for their sniper line, Swag is obviously top-notch for them. So that's a big hindrance, in my opinion. Wally as well, struggling right now, down at 0 points. I think in some of the future games, I think it might be something to consider for Nova Imperium. Run Wally in the respawn, the hardpoint matchup, and then swap on out for Hacks in Search and Destroy. Because Wally, certainly a respawn slayer, but definitely struggles quite a bit in Search and Destroy. We do have him getting dropped there. Hacks does find a kill onto Vague, but Tectonic is quick to answer back. It's a 4-3 advantage right now for Nova Imperium, and they really need to step up and do something with it here in the last round of offense for the side of the Trovo Mayhem.
Yeah, if there's ever a time that they need to win a round, now is it. Down 4-0. They need any type of momentum they can get. As you can see, we do have Trovo Mayhem now making the rotation on over to the bomb site. They are down a man, so with not as much smoke as they would typically like to have, not a great position, but they are going to be able to get the plant, and it's going to be pressure on for Nova Imperium to get the retake right here. You can see pretty much everybody over B side for them, which is less than ideal, especially with 3 snipers still in play, 2 DLQs, and an Arctic 50. Aerith missing the initial shot, not able to hit a follow-up there either, now making the push on over. Tectonic going to be able to take out Forsaken just like that. Big plays coming in for them. Bye actually gets a 2-piece. It's all on for Little B. He's in a 1v2. Wally pushes in. It's 2 SMGs. That's where the sniper play starts to backfire on you, and it is going to be Wally getting the defuse right there. And Nova Imperium keeping things alive as they take their first round win, moving us to 1-4.
Yeah, Nova Imperium definitely needed that there. They needed to stop the momentum that Trovo Mayhem had, and they couldn't have done it at a better time right there at the end of round 5. Not only does that stop the momentum a little bit, it gives them the opportunity to play on the offense, which I think they're a little stronger suited for. We have High peeking around at A, but not quite making the push up. Aerith does find first blood onto Forsaken. That is a big pick for her, up at 9 kills. Phenomenal performance out of Aerith today. And right now, Trovo Mayhem, single player advantage. And Hax does have the bomb, but playing very passively, which is not what we're used to seeing out of Nova, but Little B does pick up a kill onto High there. It's now a 5 versus 3. Bye does get hit markered, but will survive.
Yep, Nova Imperium.
Spot to be in.
Yeah, Nova Imperium's backing up, but right now things not looking great for them. 2 of their typically more consistent players, Wally and High, just not able to get anything going. 0 kills for Wally, 2 for High, and they really need to find something right here, as Bye is going to be the only player remaining. 5 kills on the board, but surrounded by a sea of snipers trying to make something happen. He's not going to be able to do it. That's going to be 5-1 for Nova Imperium, and definitely a really bad spot for them as they we're probably hoping that they'd be able to turn things around when it comes to the offensive side, but obviously it just didn't work. Honestly, with the approach that we're seeing out of this Trovo Mayhem team, I'm surprised there haven't been more smokes used and a little bit more of an aggressive approach for this Nova Imperium team, as we do see Vague once again taking out Bye, allowing those long angles to stay open and allowing them to maximize on the strong ability of those snipers is really not going in Nova Imperium's favor. We do see High finally gets one, but Godsley trades quickly. Forsaken will drop right there. High somehow hit markers. I don't know how that was possible. He's aiming pretty high, but what a shot by High! Hits another one onto Godsley. It's going to be Tectonic all by himself. He takes out Hex, but not able to take out Wally, just like that. Nova Imperium staying alive as they take round number 7.
Yeah, it would be a really long comeback, but they potentially could do it if they're able to pick up 4 rounds in a row. But they certainly cannot afford to make a mistake. And I think you actually mentioned a great point, Bobby, is the use of smokes coming out of the side of Nova could be a little bit.
They're going with the towers. I thought they were going to go with the tower strat right there. So one really crazy thing that we've seen some pro teams do before is they will smoke off both the mid and left angles coming from tin, and they'll just send the entire team up into tower. I really thought, oh my gosh!
Oh, what a shot!
High cannot miss right now. The shot onto Godsley, so clean right there. I'm glad I was spectating that one, and seeming like a little bit of confidence coming into play for this Nova Imperium team following a really slow start.
Yeah, and, you know, as you mentioned, High earlier, underperforming quite a bit for the team, which we didn't expect him to be. And he's massively turned it around these past couple of rounds. 6 kills on the board for him to lead his team. Again, was sitting down in just the 1 kill, 2 kill range for quite some time. Vague is peeking window, looking for the shot there, but High isn't having none of that right now. 4 versus 4 for these two teams, and Godsley and Forsaken, the 2 down. Lilby does find Hacks, but it's quickly traded back. But Bye getting dropped by Aerith. It's now a 2 versus 3. It's now a 1 versus 3 for Wally, and that is not looking good for Nova. He does find 1. Can he clutch it up here? It's just Aerith and Tectonic. Tectonic's going to find the kill, and that's going to be a 6-2 victory for the Trovo Mayhem. And honestly, Nova Imperium can do better than this.
Yeah.
Nova Imperium can absolutely do better than this. So, a little disappointed in them here today, but definitely excited to see them in future games in the tournament as well.
Yeah, that was... I mean, obviously they're going up against really good competition, but at the same time, you know that there are players on that team that are capable of more. We saw High later in the game making really big plays, hitting those crucial snipes, but really up until probably when they were down like 5-1 or maybe 4-1, he was just not hitting those shots. You got to have that consistency throughout the game. And if he was able to do that throughout, he definitely would have been at a positive KD and probably given his team a shot at getting the win right there. Once again, we do see Trovo Mayhem coming out on top. They are currently at the top of Division number 1 and making their way even further up. Obviously, Tectonic, Aerith, and Vague all playing a really big role. Godsley and Littleby struggling a little bit. I mean, honestly, Godsley, Littleby, and Vague all struggled a little bit, but between Tectonic and Aerith, they covered enough of the spread that they were able to close things out and get a pretty easy win in Search and Destroy.
Yeah, it's just so phenomenal how fast chat will flip. All game long, I saw you guys sitting there clowning, saying, GG, let's just move to the next game. And then High starts popping it off, and y'all want a fanboy. So I see you, and I'm calling you out for it.
That's the way that chat is. They're bandwagon fans. That chat, like 95% of chat is just all bandwagon fans, except for when we have raids from 11T and NL. Those guys are loyal fans, but most of the English-speaking chat, all bandwagons.
Yeah, a lot of loyalty over in the Spanish community.
Yeah.
Not so much here.
But we do have some more great matchups coming at you guys tonight. Taking a look right here. Nova Invictus versus NL Esports going to be our next matchup. Nova Invictus was one of those teams that started off the season really, really slow, despite people expecting big things from them. But if you look over here at the standings, they're actually the closest to Trovo Mayhem. They are in second place, would be tied for first place if they were in Division 2, and definitely have been making a really big push in the later part of this season. As they've just been really consistent, have not had a whole lot of on-stream matches. I think most of those wins have come off-stream, but the grind really paying off for them. They're going to have a chance to prove themselves as they go up against NL Esports, which has been one of the top teams in Mobile Mayhem basically since it started. So I'm really excited to see how these two teams match up against each other. And this is it's a big opportunity for Nova Invictus, but also if you're NL, you're really looking to defend your name as you've struggled the last couple of days, and getting 2-0'd versus 11T, not a great sign. And I believe they got 2-0'd in the matchup previous to that as well. So really looking to continue to climb their way up the leaderboard.
Yeah, definitely. Just as a little bit of an update while we got you guys here and we're between games, Bobby, I know you asked if I wanted to play some Warzone tonight. There's no way I'm gonna make it.
Yeah, I actually meant to tell you, my Molly is out of town, and while she was out of town, let me know that she needed me to fill out information for applying for a mortgage. So I'm gonna be up till midnight applying for a mortgage. So
right.
I'm not gonna be able to play Warzone anyway.
Tomorrow, though, I got you.
All right, I'm down. Yeah, I actually meant to tell you before stream, and then, I mean, chat, it's just, like, you guys are lucky that I have Molly, because whenever I don't have Molly, my life is absolute shambles. I just can't manage my time and anything else, but Fanny, fortunately enough, is now asleep over on the bed over there, so life does go on, and I'm sure we will bounce back next week, although she's going out of town again, so we will return to Shambles Town pretty soon.
Well, either way, mortgage, that's big stuff. That's exciting.
Yep, hopefully.
I did that a couple years ago myself, and I'm going to tell you, it's a struggle while you're going for it, but it is very, very quickly a very relieving experience afterwards.
I can finally have a stream room that I'm actually like allowed to change things on, rather than just a blank beige wall that I can hang a couple things on. That'll be nice. But we do have our bans and our maps for the upcoming matchup. So as you can see, not too surprising to see Nova Invictus banning the Arctic 50 right there. When I think about NL, I typically don't think of a whole lot of Arctic 50 players. Cheto typically swapping back and forth between... Actually, no, I take that back. Especially thinking back to the matchup between 11T and NL. I think we probably saw 2 or 3 Arctic 50s over on NL. So
I think Fish specifically.
Yeah, Fish specifically. I think at one point Wiru was using the Arctic 50 as well. I think Cheto was using it at one point. I think I actually recall Cheto overlooking pool with an Arctic 50 while every other player was hiding down below and waiting for him to find the first blood. So that, in hindsight, actually makes a lot of sense. And the Man of War being the banned weapon for NL. So probably lots of ASM 10s, lots of DRHs, couple HVKs, if I were to predict what the meta will be for the next couple of games. As far as the banned maps, we do have Hard Point on Scrapyard for Nova Invictus. And we do have Domination on Firing Range. Like you mentioned before, banning a Domination map seems like a little bit of a weird choice, just because you're not even guaranteed to have a game of Domination. So we'll see if that one ends up paying off. But for the maps we are going to be playing, we are going to have Summit Hardpoint for game number 1, Standoff Search and Destroy for game number 2, and Raid Domination if we do go to a game number 3.
Yeah, absolutely. And, it's... For some of these more even matchups that we have, I definitely can understand, to a degree, the Domination bans. Like, hey, I don't want to go up against... Tribe on Firing Range Domination, and I really feel like we're going to take them in Search and Destroy. Or, if you're in that situation, I understand, but There's definitely some where I'm just like, some of these just don't make sense. But definitely some really good matchups here coming up ahead of us. Um, Obviously, with the Arctic 50 and the Man of Warband, you mentioned it pretty cleanly. We're likely going to see a lot of HVKs or even some DRHs, and no ASM 10 ban. So very likely could see some ASM as well.
I got a notification from PayPal on my phone that somebody sent me $10, but I have no notifications set up for OBS Studio, so I apologize. Thank you for the $10. I have no idea what message was sent with that. Also, big shout out to Envoy for the raid as we do get ready to hop into this game. Players getting loaded in pretty quickly, which is always a great sign, as you can see. Hardpoint on Summit, I believe, going to be game number 1. Yep. It's one of those ones that will typically swing the momentum very, very quickly, as we do see P3 being the really, really big point that is usually going to decide which team will at least take the early game advantage. With the hard point moving on over to 250 points, there is a little bit more opportunity to swing the momentum in your favor in the later half of the game if you are able to survive a break onto P3, but we'll have to wait and see. Obviously, both of these teams really good fundamentally on their rotations and everything else. Both of these teams played in COD Mobile Champs. Neither of them was able to come out on top in their division, but absolutely put up a fantastic fight. And honestly, this Nova Invictus team, a lot better than what we saw from their Champs team. And I think, if I'm seeing things correctly, Impulsive may have left Xset and joined Nova. Am I correct on that?
That could be possible. That does.
Let me pull it up in Discord. League rosters.
I still see Impulsive on the Xset roster.
Let's see. Nova, Invictus.
I do see Impulsive on the Invictus roster too.
Do you? I don't see him on the Invictus roster. Maybe I'm looking at the wrong spot.
He's on the spreadsheet.
Oh, on the spreadsheet. Okay.
Yeah. So I don't know. We may have to get a confirmation from the admin, because I see him on both Xset and on Nova, but I feel like we were past the roster lock. So
B is confirming he is in fact on the Invictus roster. Oh, he's subbing. Okay. Well, there we go.
I didn't know that was allowed.
Yeah, how can you be on one team and sub for another? What? That's interesting.
I'm pretty confused here. Zim's in chat. Maybe Zim can help us out and give us a little information, because again, I feel like we're past the roster lock. So I just want to make sure this is fair. For the most part, that's obviously what we want here. That's why a lot of the rules have been implemented here in Season 5, as far as like screenshots and the additional verifications. So hopefully admin will let us know there.
Maybe players are allowed to be on 2 rosters at once. That wouldn't make any sense, but that's the only thing that I could possibly think of that would potentially make any type of a sense. We are waiting. Well, Zim's just in chat talking about how Imperium sucks, and so does Trovo Mayhem. So, Zim, I know there's a stream delay, but get into Discord so we can understand what's happening. Thank you.
I messaged him in chat, so.
It's especially interesting because Impulsive changed his name to Nova Impulsive. So it's not just that his name is Impulsive, but I believe it was Xset Impulsive previously and changed to Nova Impulsive, which makes me think there's a pretty good chance that he did like officially switch teams. And also to Tia with the host, I appreciate it. Thank you.
I don't disagree. We're well past the roster lock, so that's why I'm confused. Also, Ninja, I do know who Impulsive is. He was one of my favorite players in Season 3. Thank you very much.
Yeah, this is very, very interesting. We do have all of our players loaded in, and Zim is saying Impulsive is on Nova now. So now I'm really intrigued to see who's on the starting roster for XSET. I'm curious if they picked up an additional player or if they just took the L on that one. And especially XSET's performance has been a little bit underwhelming. I would think most people would agree for the most part this season. For Impulsive, I think in the past he's been one of their better players. Hasn't really performed amazingly this season, but definitely has had his flashes of greatness. For him to leave that roster that has struggled a good bit after coming in second place for NA Champs, not really a great sign for XSET and potentially a big pickup for Nova.
For people asking in chat, I do believe Fish is just, I think he's banned from or restricted from one game. I think it's just one. Due to a missing screenshot from their last matchup. So, yeah, Fish suspended from one game for lacking a verification screenshot. So that is temporary. He'll probably come into game 2, guys.
We have most of our players ready up. Just one more NL player before we are good to go, and he was readied up a second ago. So I've got a feeling this matchup will be starting pretty soon. I'm excited to see how Impulsive manages to mesh with this Nova roster. Obviously, this is very, very different from the Nova roster that we saw in Champs. Especially for the starting roster, they've got Ban, Parrish, Desi, Envy, and Impulsive. Desi was the only starting player for that Nova Invictus roster when it comes to Champs. So a lot of new players for them right now. We'll see how they mesh when it comes to the actual gameplay, as we do have all of our players in, and we are good to go for our second matchup of the night.
Definitely going to be an exciting one. We've got everybody loaded in, and we are starting off with our Hardpoint Summit matchup between NL and Nova Esports. So definitely going to be a big matchup. I'm definitely excited to see how Impulsive is able to kind of switch up the momentum that we get out of Nova. Just because he's honestly been one of the more consistent players for XSET in the past, and it felt like his team definitely struggled to get the groove going. So I think he could be a good addition here for Nova.
Yeah, we do see Ban picking up 3 kills off the start. Really good for Nova Invictus, as they were able to get a few points right here, but it is going to be NL taking control of the hard point. Munoz, the push in the top side, finds a frag right there. 3 on the board for him, and Desi trying to make the push across. The head glitch going to be too strong. Impulsive slides the corner. He's going to get taken out by Envoy, and right now, looks like NL pretty solidly in control of P1. Everybody trying to make that push topside. Munoz actually going to get taken out right there. That is a big frag going in for Nova Invictus. Parrish, not too surprised, seeing the ASM-10 in play right now, and he's going to be able to get 1 frag before dropping to Tio, the reigning MVP, at least for some past seasons of Mobile Mayhem. 5 kills on the board already alongside Envoy, and those are 2 players that we've seen struggle a little bit throughout this season, which was surprising, especially given how consistent they've been in past season, but definitely making a really big impact so far, as we do see Impulsive, new to this Nova roster, still stuck down at 0 kills.
All right, and just as a little bit of an update for you guys, since I was talking about it a minute ago, moving into the second month of the season with 2 new teams coming into the league, the ownership of Mobile Mayhem has elected that every team remaining was allowed 1 individual roster change. So that is why Impulsive was able to move on over to Nova despite the original roster lock being at the end of the 3rd week. So that's just for a little bit of clarity, but getting back into the game, NL have a pretty dominant lead right now, sitting up at 70 points to the 62 of Nova. They've been pretty dominant on the first 2 points, but as all of you know, moving into P3 and P4 is where things really kind of spice up here on Summit. The anchor position gets all the more important, as well as the respawns are so incredibly punishing. We do have Munoz, who we don't see much for NL. In fact, haven't really seen him much for several seasons. Rocking it right now. 9 kills on the board for him. Envoy with 11. Looking at the opposition, Parrish doing work. 7 kills for him, but definitely struggling a little bit behind the likes of NL, who obviously we would normally give the edge to just due to historic performance between these guys. Munoz now has the Annihilator out, finds 3 so far, does turn the corner, and Impulsive is going to pick that one up as well as picking up Raven.
Yeah, that was a couple really big pulls, or a couple really big kills going in for Nova Invictus, and even though they weren't able to get control of the hill, that does allow them to get a lot easier control for P4, as we do see Envy, who was off to a really slow start when we swapped to him, only had 2 kills on the board, and since then has already gotten 4 additional kills. So they are set up pretty well for P4. Obviously would like to have gotten a little more time onto P3, but Envy obviously starting to heat up right now is Nova Parrish, getting ready to move into the double digits as well, and he actually does with the ASM 10 in play for him. 11 kills on the board, and Nova Invictus in control of P4. And right now, NL, no type of momentum. If we do see a full hill take going in for Nova Invictus, that would move them within about 20 points of this NL team. It put them in really good position going into the mid-game mark.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. And sitting up over 50 points right now is a great spot for NL, especially if they're able to make a break on over to P4 and take some time. But unfortunately, it was Nova that ended up making the break. They're going to tick themselves up quite a bit of points off of P4. Not enough to even things up, but enough to put them within 25 points or so. So really great spot for them to be in. They have a lot of opportunity as we get ready to move back into P1. Going into the second half, you obviously have operators available. You have any score streaks that your team has potentially built up. Right now, that's none for Nova, as well as I believe none for NL. Correct, none for NL. And just keep in mind, guys, in Season 5, we have elected to ban persistence outright. So we're not going to see any more of those, 3 or 4 Goliath games unless if it's really just a one-sided game. So if you do see score streaks adding up here for a team, it's because they have hard earned it. But right now, it is control of the hill by Nova here. And this is a great opportunity for them to start evening things up.
Yeah, despite the fact that Nova didn't get a whole lot of time in the first 3 hardpoints, they have played this really, really well since then. You've seen a number of players start to heat up, Envy especially being one of them. 13 kills on the board for him. Like I said, when we last looked at him, only 2 kills and immediately picked up 4. Some really big plays going in. It's going to be pretty close to a tie game for this Nova Invictus team who, even though they might not have the same fragging power as this NL team, their rotations have been perfect. Their map positioning really, really good. Ban now in the top side of Control Center. Not going to be able to take out Envoy, but he's going to get shocked. The major assist going to be really, really big. And even though Impulsive hasn't played a big role for them, has definitely made some really big plays at crucial times, it is going to be NL taking control of top Control Center, and that's going to make control of P2 a lot easier for them. Envoy already up to 20 kills on the board. Ban gets a big double kill with that, the War Machine. He's going to get taken out, but already up to 17 kills, 18 for Parrish. Nova Invictus looking a lot stronger in the second half.
Yeah, and they were able to actually tie things up there. In fact, they did take a 1-point lead for a second, whereas, looking at the beginning of the game, they were sitting down 60, 70 points at one point. So huge, huge comeback from Nova here. They've, in fact, retaken control of the second rotation of P2 and have tied things up once again in the last 10 seconds or so of P2. Moving on into P3, again, Nova did struggle in the first lap of this matchup, but with the fire that they've been bringing to the second half, there's a lot of potential for them to start really rolling things away if they're able to find the gunfights that they need. As you mentioned, Parrish really started coming online. Band and Envy doing excellent as well. 20 for Band, 17 for Envy. Impulsive, however, still struggling quite a bit. If we could see Impulsive jump up in the kills a little bit, get into double digits, get into the 15 range, I feel like Nova could actually really push NL into a situation where in my opinion, would potentially be a game 3, because I do think, regardless of what happens here, NL is the stronger search team, as well as they'll likely have Fish back for game 2 as well. So I do think those are kind of things that we do have to kind of take with a grain of salt.
And right now, Band is absolutely cooking for this Nova Invictus roster. 24 kills to lead every player in the field right now. They're going to be able to get pretty much max time on P3, which is always a really crucial one. And now making the rotation on over to P4. Envoy gets a really big double kill. Takes out Envy and Paris, two of the players that have been really big in the second half. Decipher is going to pull out that Annihilator, but immediately eliminated by Tatio. And it's going to be a very long road back to P4, as these Nova Invictus players are going to have to rotate all the way across the map in order to try to get control of P4. Did you see Band finding another big frag? Gets the major assist right there. Literal 1 HP for him. Somehow stays alive. His teammate's able to save him. Cheto taking shots right there. Band still at 1 HP. He's not able to get the kill. He runs out of ammo. The major assist. Nova Invictus takes control of the hill once again, time and time again, finding the right plays at the right times, and they are really well positioned for the late game right now.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. They can't win off of this P4 rotation, but again, with the surprising amount of control that Nova was able to come back with on the second rotation of P1 and P2, you absolutely would think that they're setting themselves up for a potential win here moving into P1 or even P2 if they give up some time to NL here. Did see Cheto and Envoy coming through the feed there with a couple kills. It does give them a little bit of an edge to break in and get set up. But again, sitting down 48, almost 50 points right now. It's a incredibly big struggle for them. Impulsive was able to pick up 3 kills there. So again, Impulsive struggling is really holding Nova back, and they've still made a pretty massive comeback here. So definitely proud of these guys. They struggled at the beginning of the season, and to push a team like NL this far back into hardpoint is no easy.
And we've been talking about the struggle for Impulsive, but honestly, just him eliminating the War Machine that was pushing on into the hill was huge for this Nova Invictus roster. Band already up to 30 kills, Envoy with 31. These two players going back and forth for who's going to be the top frag. It is going to be NL taking control of the hill, but honestly, not a whole lot of scrap time right now. The biggest factor is going to be them having the position to take control of P2, as we do see Envy looking to make the rotation, trying to make things easier. But Tatio finding frag after frag in the top side of control center. Envy scared to make the push in there. He's going to slide the corner. It will be Tatio landing a couple initial shots, but Band has been so good for Nova Invictus. 33 kills for him. He's going back and forth with Envoy. Cheto does end up winning the gunfight, and this is a chaotic hill right now. NL taking upward for the time being as they've got control. If they can get max time here, they can manage to get a win, but that is definitely not going to be an easy hard point to get max time for.
No, you're absolutely right, Bobby. And with the game tied it back up once again at 232. Cheto and Raven picking up a couple kills there is absolutely huge. Envy does slide the corner and gets the pick. They might be able to contest long enough to prevent an NL win on this P2, but it is starting to take away. If Nova are going to make a move, they need to make it now. And we do have side of NL starting to get picked off, and unfortunately for them, they did get far respawn. They got the P4 respawn, and a lot of Nova are already set up around P3. Nova Band, however, does get picked. This is huge for NL. They might be able to make the break here. They might be able to pick up the win.
Oh my gosh! NL gets the break. Munoz has an Annihilator. What a break for them! NL comes out on top. I honestly thought that Nova Invictus had played that about as perfectly as they could have. Because all they really needed to do there was take control of spawns and at the same time not allow NL to get the win on P2. But somehow the Annihilator allowing NL to get the break onto P3, one of the most difficult to break hard points. That is a huge win for them. Envoy with 35 kills on the board. Tatio and Shadow 23 apiece. Raven 25. I mean, that at 2 through 4 were all right next to each other for NL. And we do see Band up at 37, but just not quite enough to get Nova Invictus the win.
Yeah, and honestly, Nova Invictus, they didn't pick up the win there, but honestly, I'm so proud of this team because, again, this is a team that was really hyped up coming into Season 5 based on the fact that they were a phone team, based on their performance in at least the team. Obviously, the roster has changed a little bit, but this is a team we recognize at least from champs that did exceptional. So we really had big expectations coming out of them. They struggled a bit in the beginning, but they've really seemingly found a bit of their groove. Again, Fish was suspended for 1 game on the side of NL, but I don't know. Munoz made a pretty hefty impact here. I think he finished the game 20-something kills on the board, 24 kills on the board. So even being a sub that we haven't really seen for realistically seasons at this point, to come through and have a strong performance, you definitely have to give credit where credit is due. Nova Invictus have really brought themselves up a bit, and honestly, this makes me all the more excited for Search and Destroy, because I expected this to be a easy 2-0, and Nova Invictus, they didn't pick up the win, but they did not make it look easy for NL.
Yeah, that was one of the better hardpoint games that we've seen all season. That was really back and forth. Like, it wasn't. I think at the beginning you could have said that Nova Invictus was making a comeback, but after that it was super evenly contested the whole way through, and that was an absolute blast to watch. Chat, everybody say hi to Fanny. She has decided that she would like to be a part of the stream right now, so she is currently just chilling with me, and hopefully will go back to sleep relatively soon. She's much heavier than she used to be, so I don't know. I mean, I can probably pick her up, but she's a freaking chunk. Oh my goodness. And my headphones came unplugged, so Day, if you were saying anything, I have no idea what it is, but you can see my very large dog is here, and maybe she will just chill for the rest of the night as we watch some more fantastic COD Mobile action, and I get my headphones plugged back in right here.
Definitely a big game between these two teams. I do want to give a quick shout out actually to one of our viewers in chat, Bobby, and that being Barzy. I appreciate you translating quite a bit there. I can read a lot of Spanish. I just am not great at speaking it. So regarding the issue of like screenshots and Fish being suspended for a game, I really appreciate you guys helping translate that message to the Spanish-speaking viewers out there.
For sure, definitely. Like we said, one of the best hardpoint matchups that we've seen all season. So it does get me excited for the Search and Destroy. We do have Cheto hopping on in. Was Cheto in there? Maybe he was.
Cheto was in that game.
Okay, I don't know why I thought that he wasn't, but obviously. His sniper power is going to be a big factor.
Subbed out for Fish, and that's the only change we have.
That's what it is, yep. We do have a ban on the Arctic 50, so not going to see any Arctic 50 ACOG spam. And, oh my goodness, Fanny, hello? Can you just go to sleep, please? Thank you. Definitely going to be a great matchup between these two as we do get ready to hop into Search and Destroy on Standoff. And apparently Fanny is actually going to take a nap in my lap. So we'll see how I do at spectating this game.
She got big quick.
She did. Well, Chad says she went from a small pup to a huge lion in a month. It wasn't a month. She's 6 years old. Or not 6 years old. 6 months old. And we got her when she was 2 months old. So it has been 4 months. But she has definitely grown up pretty quick. But also, this is pretty close to her max size, so she won't get too much bigger than this. It looks like we got everybody loaded in, good to go for game number 2.
Yeah, everybody in, and my opinion of this matchup was definitely I give NL the distinct advantage for Search and Destroy. I mean, again, I did expect them to win the hardpoint matchup going into today's game. I expected them, honestly, to win it a little bit more one-sided, though. Obviously, Nova Invictus put up a huge fight in hardpoint, so while I give the edge to NL, I absolutely cannot sleep on this Nova roster, especially if Band is going to play as absolutely cracked as he did in that first matchup. So we will have to see. It's NL picking up the first round, but there's potentially still 10 rounds ahead of us, guys. So don't go anywhere. It is just getting started. And to follow this matchup, if we don't go into a domination, we will have Zygnus versus Tribe Gaming will be our next matchup. So definitely some more exciting games ahead of us.
Yep, it is going to be one Nova Invictus player picked off the start. Envoy taken out is actually going to be really big, but Tatio is going to find Band right there with the nade, and just like that, the plant's going to go down. Parrish actually making the push on in and finds a big frag right there. And with the bomb down for their team, they are positioned pretty well for at least to protect the defuse right here, as we do hear shots going in. Cheto tries to land a couple, not able to make it happen. It's now a 2v2. Fish finds one onto Impulsive. Parrish all by himself. 19 seconds for this NL team to work with, and Parrish pretty content to just sit back, wait for them to make the push. Unfortunately for him, Raven is ready over on Tank's side, and just like that, NL is going to take the 2-0 lead with Raven and Envoy both combining for 3 kills apiece through the first 2 rounds.
Yeah, and NL are absolutely rocking it right now. Raven 3 kills, Envoy 3 kills, Tatio 3 kills, Fish joining us and picking up a kill as well. Now, looking at the side of Nova, they have picked up kills, just unfortunately, with the aggressive playstyle they played towards a bomb these past couple rounds. Envoy was able to make a big rotation behind them and pick up a couple kills. He did play a little bit more passive this time, but still was able to find one. Tatio is able to find another. Raven did get dropped by, I believe, Impulsive, but Cheto is quick to answer back, finding him on the corner there. It's now a 3-2 with 1 player advantage for the side of NL, as we did have Parrish picking up a kill there. Still very, very doable by the side of Nova. They just have to play incredibly cautious, especially since Bomb Down is in not a incredibly favorable position. We did actually have Desi picking up another kill there. Envoy was there ready for it. Oh my goodness. There's no reason Envoy should have lost that gunfight. Desi cleaning it up. It's now Fish all alone. And what was a 3 versus 2 advantage has very quickly changed into a 2-1 for Nova.
And Fish trying to retreat right now. It seems like they do seem to sense that he has a sniper and not trying to push that too much. We do have the bomb on over on the A site. It looks like Nova Invictus is going to get the plant right here. And now the pressure is on for Fish. He's in a 1v2. Needs to find a pick pretty early on to make this a little bit more possible. And especially with one player for Nova Invictus pretty separated from the other, could open up a possibility to Cypher pushing really aggressively for a defending player right now, and Fish jumps over, not able to spot him right there. It is going to be Decipher picking up a number of big frags in that round, and Nova Invictus will take the round win to move things to 2-1.
Yeah, and that's big for Nova to try to stop some of the momentum that NL had going. I mean, they had some pretty flawless or near flawless rounds for the most part, and then Nova answered back in a big way. Specifically, Desi picking up 3 kills that game, and Impulsive, who actually just got hit markered and has literally 1 HP, has really stepped things up at least in a percentile from the last matchup. I believe he finished that last game with 10 kills on the board, already picking up 2 for the team, and they were 2 crucial picks as well that really helped them get to where they're at. So definitely keep an eye on Impulsive, see if he's just a little bit more favored in Search and Destroy at this point. But Fish is going to find him as he peeks around the corner, as well as Envoy picks up a kill onto Desi. And it is currently a tie game as Band once again frying for this Nova team, picks up 2 kills. Envoy does find Envy there. That will put the lead a little bit in favor of NL, but Band answers immediately. Parrish as well, picking up Fish. Parrish finding Cheto. Parrish and Band absolutely wrecking it there as they tie things up 2-2.
And chat, I apologize if my spectating was not on point that game. Fanny is dead set on making this as difficult as possible on me, but we do have, as Day said, a 2-2 game now on our hands, and looking like it's going to be another that goes down to the wire. Like you said, Band just finding all the right kills. Envoy's going to get the trade. Envy there to trade as well. Only 2 kills on the board for him, but starting to heat up a little bit as there are only 2 players remaining for this NL team. Fish not able to hit the snipe. The bomb is going to go down onto A. And with the 2v4 right here, not a great spot for NL. Cheto tries to take out somebody with the vehicle explosion, but nobody there. And right now, Nova perfectly set up Desi. Perfect pushes at the perfect time. Nearly takes out Fish as well, and Fish just barely retreating on in. What a snipe from him to take out Desi, but with only 15 seconds, it seems like more than anything he's probably just playing for frags, as we do now see that more than likely Nova Invictus, even with a couple players dropping. Envy drops right there. Fish trying to find, I believe, Parrish on the outside, or actually Impulsive. Impulsive's going to slide the corner. He finds the frag right there, and 3 rounds in a row going on over to Nova Invictus.
Yeah, huge plays from them. And again, this is why after that first matchup, I did not want to cut them out of potential. I mean, again, Band is just playing absolutely crazy. The rest of the team doing pretty well for themselves as well. I mean, Impulsive, again, 3 kills. This is a much better performance situationally than we had out of him in the hardpoint matchup. I think we're almost able to make a monstrous comeback in. We do have a quick plant from the side of NL over at A. It is still a 5 versus 5, no picks from either team yet. And we do see Nova trying to start collapsing around the A side. Impulsive, I believe, hears Fish, but just can't quite find the vision he needs on him, and he might be putting himself in a dangerous spot. What on earth? Cheto just straight 90-degree quickscoped him off that head glitch. That was nuts.
Yeah, Nova Invictus, despite the last 3 rounds looking good, now that they're on the defensive side, looking a little bit confused. They didn't really have any type of control throughout that round. They're going to need to find some sort of a different approach to make this work, and seeing them play so passive off the A site once again is a little bit surprising, as they will once again give up a free A plant to this NL team who, whenever they have the bomb down, just automatically has an advantage because of how confident they are. And Band gonna try to find a frag right here. We do see the RPG going in, but Fish gonna find the pick onto Parrish. A trade finally coming in for Impulsive, but that only leaves it at a 4v4. Band only has 10 HP. There's a nade right there. He's gonna drop. Tatio gets the frag. Raven finds another one. It's gonna be Decipher all by himself. And with only 15 seconds to work with, basically impossible for him to get the defuse right here, as we do see him just trying to find a pick or two and making that late rotation on over to the A site. Will find one frag onto Raven, boosts his KD a little bit, but not enough to win the round. And just like that, NL back in the lead at 4-3.
But this has been a much more exciting and a much more close game than I would have expected out of these two teams. This definitely excites me for, specifically for Nova in our upcoming weeks, because, again, I was starting to count these guys out a little bit. They started off pretty slow. They did have some bigger performances these past couple weeks, but still nothing to crazy write home about. And wow, oh man, NL just walked on through the Nova line. It is now match point for the side of NL. Nova, however, I mean, again, they've put up some really strong rounds, and if they can pull things together here, we absolutely could see them push us into a game 11 potentially, or a round 11, potentially even a game 3. It just depends on how they play this one. We do have NL obviously once again in control. Cheto does find the kill onto Envy, but there's a big answer. Band and Impulsive both finding a couple kills. Desi as well finds Envoy. Fish is going to pick up the kill onto Impulsive. It's now a 2 versus 2. Bomb is down near A. I'm not quite sure if Nova have eyes on that yet. but it does look like Band is set up pretty heavily around A side. We have
What?
rotation.
Wait. Okay, Band just threw a perfect grenade right on top of Fish. The first one didn't do any damage. The second one also right on top of him. Only did 49. I'm not really sure what happened right there because from all appearances, I don't think there's a trophy system. And maybe that was a spectator glitch or something else, but by everything we've seen, you would think that Fish would have died right there, but he is still alive, and with the bomb in the hands of Cheto, NL still able to keep things in their favor is, oh, I take it back, Band comes flying in, easy frag for him. It's actually going to now be a 2v1 for Fish, who's forced back over to tank side, not going to hit the snipe onto Decipher. He is in a really rough spot right now, pretty exposed. The bomb is down, only 30 seconds to work with, and he's now been forced all the way back into spawn. This would be an epic clutch by all measures of the word, and we do now see a couple of smokes going in. Band smokes over toward the A site, surprisingly enough, and now trying to play sound as he knows the sound of the bomb getting picked up. This is going to be a pretty easy frag for him. You can see Fish just waiting way too long right here, and even if you were to be able to get the bomb picked up, obviously nobody for Nova is going to try to peek any angles. Actually a little bit risky. Decipher was in sight for a second right there, but was able to get back to the back side of the tank, and Nova Invictus staying alive right now as we move to 5-4.
Defend the objective. The enemy has the bomb.
I don't know if I lost you, Bobby, or if you just stopped talking there, but we are
I think I was talking.
into
Wait, can you hear
our
me?
round 10 between these two teams,
Hello?
guys. Band is picked off very early on. Raven dropped as well. Beautiful nade
Hello?
coming out of Impulsive there. I hear you, Bobby.
Oh, okay.
You sound like you're underwater.
Wait, I do?
You sound better now, though.
Okay. All right. That was weird. All right. Return to casting.
You're here.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, you're good. Take it away.
One pick for each of these teams. Definitely a tight spot for both. We are in round 10. If Nova are able to pick up a round win here, they could push us into a round 11, potentially into a game 3 as well. It looks like Desi wants Fish. He heard the footsteps. He's playing it a little bit cautious. Impulsive is going to peek the corner. Fish finds it to Tio, picks up Parrish. Envoy finds Envy. It's now a lone Desi, and this Cinderella story may be over here as to Tio. Got to pick up the kill onto Desi there. The 6-4 win for the side of NL, cleaning up that 2-0 victory. But I must say, again, I'm incredibly proud of the Nova boys here today. They really picked their season up in a big way. Even if they didn't pick up the win here, this is a big statement for where they could potentially stand as these weeks go on.
Yeah, that was a really good performance for them, and definitely gets me excited to see how they'll perform throughout the rest of the season. Obviously, Tio and Envoy, two of those players you can always count on to have a big performance. Fish actually going 10-4 right there, and it is going to be, I wouldn't say an easy win by any means for NL, but they were certainly in control for most of the time. A lot of what it's going to come down to for this Nova team is just consistency and getting the same performance out of all their players. Obviously, Parrish points-wise up at the top, but only 4 and 7. Definitely need to see bigger things from him, especially as one of their biggest contributors. And keep in mind, I believe this Nova team does still have Saxy, who most would consider to be the leader of the team. And with him added back into this roster, you got to have a feeling that they could really have a shot at taking down some of these top teams.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. And we have more exciting matchups ahead of you guys as well. I mean, I would have said that the NL versus Nova game, based on the games we have tonight, was going to be one of the least exciting. And I have to say, that was one of the best games of Hardpoint we've seen this season, as well as Nova put up a fantastic fight in Search and Destroy. And up ahead of us, we still have Zygnus versus Tribe Gaming and 11T versus 8 Kings. So some phenomenal matchups ahead of us, and I cannot wait to get into them.
Yeah, like you said, Zygnus versus Tribe Gaming, going to be a good one. Zygnus, one of the newer teams. By one of the newer teams, I mean one of the teams that is new to the league this season. But despite that, they've put up some really good fights. They've actually managed to take out some of the better teams in the league. Tribe Gaming, one of the teams that has been a staple in the COD Mobile competitive scene, but this is a very different roster from what they've had in the past. At the same time, they have not really had any type of trouble adapting, as we've seen them very, very dominant, especially in their division. Not at the very top as far as points go. We do have Nova Invictus at 80, NL at 85, Trovo Mayhem at 110, but Tribe, if they're able to get the 2-0, could very well move to the top 2 point getters in all of Mobile Mayhem for this season. I know a lot of people have been asking when Tribe Gaming versus Trovo Mayhem is going to be. That is actually going to be a week from today. So make sure you guys get your alarm set. Make sure you are here. I feel like that's probably, at this point, the most anticipated matchup of the season, and definitely going to be a really good one. Also a reminder, make sure to follow the Amplified channel, as that's where Tuesday's games are going to be. And I think that's all for my mid-stream announcements.
Yeah, I'm sure Zillionaire will post the link for you guys, because he is such a phenomenal mod here for Bobby's Chat. And again, make sure you follow the Amplified channel, because that's where we'll be live on Tuesday. So,
you know what I just realized, Dave?
what's that?
We never
Did voice-ins?
did the interview for Vague. Do you want me to go ahead and run that?
Do it right now. Yeah, let's do it.
All right, we'll go ahead and
it's
cut to the
spicy.
interview with Vague.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another Mobile Mayhem interview. This time, we've got Vague from Trovo Mayhem. How's it going, man?
I'm doing alright. How about yourself?
Doing pretty good. Doing pretty good. Definitely bouncing back after some really exciting matches yesterday, all across the board. Honestly, obviously, we got to see 8 Kings come through with a pretty big performance, as well as just had some really good games across the board. So, you guys are obviously ones that we get on stream a lot, and you know, how are you liking this season so far? How do you like the new team together?
So far the new team has been pretty good. Honestly, I still have to work on myself still, because as you guys know, I have transitioned to phone recently, and I still have a long way to go. But I'm glad I have the teammates that I do right now, because they're over there carrying the other weight that I can't carry. But as I've played the other weeks on Mo, I've been doing pretty hot, and I think the first time I actually did pretty good for myself was probably yesterday's match against Fierce, actually. And so I'm hoping to continue on that same momentum going into tomorrow's match against Imperium, which was one of my former teams.
Yeah. Do you have former phone experience, or is this like hard switch to phone for you?
Well, this is a hard switch to phone. Before I started playing, I played on an iPad Mini 5, which is probably the worst iPad I played on, and then I switched over to an iPad Pro, and I think that's when I started getting called an iPad warrior. And from then, I ended up switching to phone once I got the announcement of Mayhem being all phone and all that.
Cool, cool. Yeah, it's definitely been a interesting change for a lot of players. Some of them have had previous phone experience, but I mean, I
Mhm.
personally I think you've been doing pretty well for someone jumping over to phone, so that's always a good
Thank you.
start. Looking at the league now with kind of rosters all set in, and for the most part, all of our teams here, what would you say your guys' biggest threat or biggest rival is going to be for this season?
Well, personally, the obvious answer for this, I was gonna say NL, but it seems like the content creator team does have a good handle on NL, so that's not much of a problem anymore. I feel like the one is gonna be Tribe Gaming. As you know, they just formed up recently, but most of those players there already had experience with others, so the chemistry is already there. And due to that, individual gun skill, they're all really good with that. It's a team of slayers, and they make work with it. They know when to play OBJ, how to play their positioning, and by the time that we go into the matchup, they're already gonna know what's going on that light, even though they've only played with each other for such a short time.
Right, definitely a pretty common answer for a lot of
Yeah.
the upper teams. Definitely looking at Tribe to be one of their biggest competitors. So it's been a good season, and obviously we have quite a bit ahead of us as well. I think we're in the middle of week 5, I think. Yeah, week 5.
I
So
think so.
yeah, so still got a couple weeks ahead of us, and still a lot of teams fighting for those top spots.
Mhm.
Yeah, in my opinion, I definitely would expect you guys to be one of the teams to make it to at least the semifinals week. So We'll have to see
Definitely.
how that competition develops. I guess to kind of start boiling things down a little bit, what would you say your favorite map and favorite game modes are for this season? And they don't have to coincide, so you don't have to like pick hardpoint because you like standoff hardpoint. You know, if you have,
Yeah.
have different answers, you are more than welcome to answer.
All right. So honestly, my favorite mode is possibly domination. The main reason for this is because I would say it's more of a confidence boost. The moment you do good in a respawn is basically a really good warm up. Plus, alongside that, you get a good feeling of dropping multiple kills, which can lead on to a proper warm up, like I mentioned before. And going into the next game, you have that, I guess you say, confidence boost going into like a search and destroy map and winning your one on ones, or like a hardpoint match and holding OBJ when you need to, you know. And as for the map, my favorite map is, I'm not gonna lie, I've been enjoying Raid a lot more. Uh, Past experience, I didn't really enjoy it because it was really like I don't know, my playstyle on iPad was really tough. Rush out and like pray that I would win any like gunfight and all that. But now that I switched over to phone, it gives me like the opportunity to like actually think and play strategically. So like holding angles and like just getting like one pick and then two picks and then another pick, it's just a really good feeling, especially since Raid is like a really long angle map. Like for example, P1, which is like a bunch of positions you can go from. And another example could be as well P4, which is one of my favorite spots there is holding Red Lambo side.
Awesome, awesome. And how much Call of Duty experience do you have prior to COD Mobile?
Well, previously my first Modern Warfare game that I actually played was MW2. That was one of the ones that I loved and actually stuck between. And
So
then
so
ever
quite a
since
while
then,
ago. You've been
yeah.
around for quite a while. Okay.
My mom would get really mad at me whenever I play those games. But my older brother would just let me play on those because he knew I'd enjoy them and all that. And so that was probably one of my first experiences playing a COD game.
Yeah, definitely. Love and hate those old Modern Warfare 2 lobbies. pretty
Yeah,
pretty toxic Call of Duty days overall. But
yeah, definitely.
well, since you've been around since Modern Warfare, if you could pick one map to be introduced to COD Mobile that's not already in, or at least not in Mobile Mayhem, what would be your favorite map you'd like to see join the game,
For Modern Warfare 2, I would say
or
Favela.
any game since then?
Oh, any game? Well, honestly, I did love the map Favela or Favela. I don't know what it's called. It's one of those, but that was one of my favorite maps. It was back in MW2 as well. I really enjoyed it, especially since you can camp on along those rooftops and all that.
Yeah, definitely a lot of versatility on how you play that map. Old
Yeah.
COD ways, but I guess to close things out, I mean, any shout outs or just anything else you want to add, you're more than welcome to.
All right. Well, shout out to Little B. Honestly, I thought he would be washed and still be known as Leader B. You already understand the meme. Since he did show off to like new to phone and all that, and he's actually been doing pretty well actually. And another shout out to Tech. I personally think he's washed. He doesn't top frag anymore as much as before. So personally, I think he has to pick it up.
Big words. Obviously, a lot of love between you guys, so that's going to be all for us, and good luck in your games today.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Oh my gosh, this dude just said that Tectonic was washed. Oh, brother. All right, well there you go. That's vague for you.
He's a good kid. He's a good kid.
Yep. That was fun to watch. Also, chat, be nice to Vague. I know he's a walking meme, but you guys got to be nice to him like every once in a while, So just cut him a little bit of slack and let him live his life. We do have Tribe Gaming versus Ignis coming up soon, and excited to watch that one. I would agree with what he said. You got to give some credit to Little B making that transition back to phone. I think a lot of people expected not to see much out of him after going from tablet back to phone, but he's been pretty consistent for Trovo Mayhem and one of the biggest factors for them, even with him playing on phone. So probably continue to see that improvement, and obviously we expect to see a lot of improvement from these other players as well that have recently made the transition from tablet over to phone, but definitely improved a significant amount throughout the season.
So for the record, you agree with him that Lil B has been doing great with the transition to phone?
Yes.
Do you also agree with Tectonic being washed?
No, I mean, Tectonic carried so hard. Obviously the interview was recorded before today, but Tectonic carried pretty freaking hard. When I played with him in the Content Creator Showdown, he carried hard. We were going up against tablet players. Like, I don't know if you can say that, Vig. You know?
Yeah, it was all in good fun. But looking at the matchup we have ahead of us here, Bobby, obviously Tribe have been an absolutely dominant team. And going up against Zygnus, who's had a little bit of a spotty record, but when they do show up, they show up hard. So where are you thinking between these two teams you expect maybe Zygnus to be able to maybe fill in the gaps a little bit, maybe potentially push us to a game 3 or even pick up a win over Tribe? Because Tribe have been such, in my opinion, a phenomenal all-around roster. They've done great in Hardpoint as well as they've done great in Search and Destroy. So consistency is going to be big for Zygnus.
I think to get a better idea of that, I'm gonna have to look at the bans and the map. So taking a look, we do have Crash Hardpoint for game number 1. That's one that I just don't ever see Tribe losing. That's something they played time and time again. They practiced for it for champs. I think all but one time they had a player disconnect and they ended up losing one of the champs maps on Crash Hardpoint, but that was honestly really a fluke, and ever since then they've dominated that every single time. So really, if you're Zygnus, you've got to win the Search and Destroy. Crossfire Search and Destroy can be very, very campy, I guess you could say, and a lot of it is going to come down to the sniper play. They do have Bear and S-Thug in. Those are two players that are absolute monsters with Arctic 50. Taking a look at our bans, you can see the DRH and the ASM-10 are the two banned guns. So Arctic 50s will be in play. Now, at the same time, you got to keep in mind that's the primary weapon for Jez and Slothy as well when it comes to Search and Destroy. So I think a lot of it is going to be pressure on Bear and S-Thug, trying to find those first bloods and seeing if they can get a little bit of an advantage to try to get the plant down when it comes to Crossfire Search and Destroy. And then if they're able to push it to firing range domination, just really hope that you can frag out and somebody manages to get just a few extra kills that might potentially allow them to tip the scales and maybe upset this Tribe Gaming team.
This is completely off topic, Bobby. This is absolutely off topic. I was just kind of looking at some of the rosters because, again, we had that one player addition or switch that teams were allowed because a couple new teams came in. There are two big names that still didn't get picked up by any of these teams. Like, where is Raballo and where is Space at this point? Like, what bigger opportunity could you have other than lifting the roster lock for a single player to get one of these guys on a team?
As far as Space goes, I believe I do think I've seen him in chat recently saying that he has not made the switch to phone. So if I had to guess, that's probably the reason that we haven't seen him. Raballo, I know, is also a tablet player, so I don't know if that is an intentional thing for him that he's not making the switch on over to phone, or if it's something else that's happening. But yeah, you're definitely right. Those are two players that you would really expect to see in the competitive scene. And B is in the Mobile Mayhem chat saying Space is on iPad and wants to concentrate on content creation, which makes sense. That's kind of the route that Little B was going, but at the same time, still playing on a phone, keeping his foot in the competitive scene for as long as he can. So we'll see what route he does end up going. But yeah, I've got a feeling that's a really big role in what we've seen from those two players so far.
All right. Well, Space and Raballo, you guys are phenomenal players, and we miss you here in Mobile Mayhem. So hopefully we'll see you guys again someday. But it looks like we are getting ready to get into our matchup of Zygnus versus Tribe. I do see a name I don't recognize here for the side of Zygnus.
Pudgy?
Yeah. So not really sure what to expect out of him. Obviously, Bear and S-Thug, we expect to be in the upper echelon of this team based on previous performance. But up against a team like Tribe, it may be difficult even to see them really, really excel here. We will hopefully get a good a good game out of these two teams. I really
Pudgy
really
was not
expect
supposed to
see
be
big
in
things.
there.
That's kind of what I was
Oh.
thinking too. I was like,
Yeah.
something's off here.
So we were talking about what Zygnus needs to do in order to get the win, and it's actually going to be a 4v5. So you would think Zygnus already going to be at the disadvantage, then you throw in the fact that they're down a player, and all that combined gives you a pretty good feeling that Tribe's probably going to take a quick 2-0 on this one. We have seen Zygnus, I believe it was in Tuesday's matchup, give XSET a pretty good run for their money in a 4v5, as it seems like they're having a tough time getting their roster together, but I just don't really see this happening up against this Tribe roster.
Yeah, definitely gonna be a big, hard fight between these two teams, or at least you would like to see it again. I think, if I remember correctly, did Zygnus also struggle getting a 5th player for their first match on Tuesday?
Fight harder.
I don't know. I got distracted because Raballo is actually in chat, and he has said he's on phone, but his team got DQ'd. So we could see him making a return to Mobile Mayhem in the future. But it looks like, as far as this season goes, probably not going to be happening, as you do see Riot's picking up a couple early kills, but not too surprising. Tribe Gaming in control of the hardpoint off the start.
Yeah, definitely not the game we would have liked to see out of Tribe versus Zygnus. I think Zygnus is a team that really has a phenomenal chance here in this game, or in this tournament. But it looks like we had Cortez is lagging, and it doesn't feel like he can stay connected to the game. So, fortunately for them, they are, at least for the first matchup, going to have a 4v5, and up against a team like Tribe, this is not a situation you can afford to have. In all honesty, I mean, Tribe, by all means, should just absolutely blow the water out here in Hardpoint.
Honestly, the fact that Tribe has allowed them to get 7 points is a massive disappointment for them. Like, this, probably, if any game should have been a 250-0, this probably should have been it. You can actually see Slothy bought the brand new FR556 Legendary, and definitely a thing of beauty, as he's picked up a few kills off the bat so far, actually leading all players. 6 kills now on the board for him. And
Yo, I gotta find out what he's got on this thing. This thing is a laser.
yeah, that's the thing. It is, I would argue, it's probably potentially the best mid-range gun in the game. The only other one that I would say might be better is the Man of War. But very, very consistent at mid-range. It's only in the close range and the long range that you're going to start to see it struggle. But you can see right now, he is not missing a shot. That is an interesting sound effect every time you get the kill. I'm not sure I would personally like that, but definitely getting your money's worth with this one.
Absolutely. It's so far working out well for him. He turns the corner there, unable to find the kill onto Adapt, though. And that will give Zygnus maybe a break to pick up a couple pity points here, but just as I say that, Tribe come running on through and retake pretty quickly. Adapt does find Saizu there. S-Thug is on the stairs. We actually have Zygnus filling up the feed a little bit here, but then Jez finds S-Thug. Adapt dies to a car explosion. And Zygnus putting up the best fight they can. They do actually find a way to take control, even if just for a second. Bear picks up the kill onto Slothy there. That's going to be 7 on the board for Bear, who, again, you definitely expect him to perform just based off of the gameplay we've seen out of him. And then moving into Search and Destroy is really where we see S-Thug quite often pick up as well. So hopefully they'll have a 5th player for the Search and Destroy matchup and maybe find a way to push us into a game 3, because they're realistically winning gunfights here, and they've had a lot of opportunity to get push in. It's just too hard for them to maintain a spawn and take over an objective minus a player. That's an extra 100 points of health you're missing and X amount of damage. So rough spot for them to be in, but they are putting up a fight regardless down to the end.
Yeah, we see Slothy missing a few shots right there. Does a good bit of damage to a couple of players, but not able to get the kill on either. That's going to be really big for Zygnus. They have actually got control for P4 right here, as we do see Riot's winning the gunfight there as well. And they do have Bear now moving up into double digits. S-Thug with had a War Machine in hand, now swapping back to the LK-24, but Cygnus really making this a lot more competitive than we expected it to be. We do see a big double kill going in for Bolu. Marshy's going to slide on through. Hasn't had a great game so far, but is going to get the easy break on into the hard point, and now just shooting in random directions, as it looks like nobody really anywhere close to the surrounding area. Obviously, everybody over on Cygnus already making the rotation on over to P5.
Yeah, and the fact that Cygnus have 50 points on the board here up against Tribe in a 4 versus 5, honestly kind of impressive, and it really goes to show a lot about their gun skill and the rotations that they're making as a team. And this is one of the reasons that I consider them actually one of the stronger teams in the league, despite their inconsistencies. Even when their rotations are a little bit lacking, even when they are struggling to find the grouping power, they pretty consistently have the accuracy and the individual skill mechanics to fill in some of the gaps. They've once again taken control of a hard point. They have about 30 seconds left on the clock. Did see Slothy pick up 1 kill there. Almost able to pick up 2, but S-Thug is gonna get the drop. 20 seconds left. They might bring this within 50 points. I mean, they very likely are at least getting triple digits here. Which is, I mean, again, this is nuts.
Yeah, honestly, like if you think about it, the last 2 weeks, they, in 4v5s, have put up a really good fight. And even if they were not to get a single point for the entire rest of this game, it would still be a good fight given who they're going up against. So if they're able to get a consistent roster to actually show up and they're able to play their games with a full team, you got to think this is going to be one of the teams that has a shot at making it to the championship. They've been really... they've at least had flashes of greatness so far, and even though, like you said, they haven't been super consistent, they have a lot of potential for this season, and especially moving forward in future seasons of Mobile Mayhem.
Hardpoint contested.
Yeah, absolutely. Tribe getting a couple kills there, but speed still going back and forth between these two teams. Marshy does pick up a double kill there. Gotta say, glad to see Marshy still playing here. Seems like with him being a sub on Tribe, it seems like we haven't got a ton of screen time from him, or maybe I'm just old and can't remember.
No, you're right.
I am right? Okay, cool.
Yeah.
I thought so. But yeah, Marshy, phenomenal player, so I'm glad to see him getting some screen time here. S-Thug actually finds a really big triple kill, and this is kind of what I'm saying as far as, again, the individual gun skill for this Cygnus team is able to fill in a lot of the gaps where some of the other errors kind of fall into play. 13 kills for Riots, Adapt 14, Bear for 16, S-Thug 12 on the board. So for them to be pulling double digits against Tribe in a respawn mode, and it being a 4 versus 5 is really just a big show of skill here from them. Slothy really abusing the head glitch on the edge of that trash can there, able to find a clean kill on S-Thug, who was trying to get the drop shot in. Tribe have crossed into 200 as well.
The pre-fire from Slothy right there, so clean, gets the Pred missile to call in. 20 kills on the board for him. 3 players tied at 20 kills for Tribe as they are showing, once again, how consistency plays a really big role in having one of these top teams. As you see, Slothy, Jez, and Bolu all up at 20 plus, and definitely not a bad performance from any of the other players as well. We do have Bear up to 20 for this Cygnus team, but in a 4v5, you're just going to need to get more. Saizu finds a big double kill right there. Suddenly, P3 is all in control for Tribe. And if I had to guess, more than likely, this will be the final hard point that we see unless we get some crazy operator-fueled push out of Cygnus. We do have Bear very close to getting his Annihilator in play. Adapt has his gravity spikes ready to go, but they got to make the push soon, and at this point, it looks like too little, too late, as Tribe does come out on top, 250 to 102.
Yeah, which I mean, again, you would expect Tribe to win this matchup, it being a 4 versus 5. Even in a 5v5 scenario, they definitely have an edge over Cygnus because, again, for Cygnus, consistency has been an issue for this team, and it hasn't at all been an issue for Tribe. I mean, Tribe come, they show up, they're on time, they're They play well every single week, even when they have subs in. So you really hope for Zygnus going into our search and destroy matchup that they're able to field a 5th player. Because as far as I can tell, they have 6 players on the roster. So if one of them is lagging and can't be here, you'd like to see them at least get their sub into play, because again, this team has a lot of potential. They've really created a lot of sparks here in Season 5 of Mobile Mayhem, despite being a newer team. So we definitely want to give them the best chance we can. But so far, not looking great for the odds of getting another player in for them, as they are still sitting with 4 players and a coach in their voice chat.
Yep. And like, obviously you have a couple players that can make a really big impact. Baron, S-Thug, 2 great snipers, especially when it comes to the Arctic 50, which is not banned for this matchup, but with that much power over on Tribe, with Slothy and Jez, both Arctic 50 users as well. Marshy we've seen be really, really big when it comes to search and destroy. All those combined, it just seems pretty unlikely that Zygnus is going to be able to get the win, but it is also unlikely that they're going to be able to keep it close at any point in time for the last game. So they might be able to make something happen here. We will have to wait and see, and keep in mind we do have one more matchup tonight after this one. It's going to be Levante versus 8 Kings. 8 Kings, one of the newest teams in Mobile Mayhem, is obviously we do have the introduction of LAG over in Division 1 as well, but they're looking to climb their way up through the Division 1 spot, and Levante has been really, really good in Division 1, especially as of late. 2-0ing NL Esports, who was previously the top point getter in all of Mobile Mayhem. So we'll see if 8 Kings can maybe pull off an upset, but we will have to wait and see. And I believe we have most of our players ready up, and we should be good to go for game number 2 pretty soon here.
Yeah, hopefully, again, I would like to see a 5th player make it in here for the side. Hold on. I see 6 players in Zygnus chat now.
Ooh, that's big.
It's some potential for a good search and destroy game, for sure.
But at the same time, everybody is readied up for Zygnus.
Yeah, this is true. But we also don't have a mod spamming the start button, so that's potentially a good sign as well.
Wait, Splinter, you said they did not probs first 4v5 in a minute. I don't know what that was in reference to.
I don't either, because there's definitely been some
They
4v5
4v5
the
on
past couple
Tuesday,
weeks.
yeah.
Yeah. I think the week prior, I think Imperium had a 4v5 as well, so.
Yeah. Yeah, because High was missing.
Yep.
But yeah. We got, oh, we do have, you were right, one more Zygnus player joining up, McJose. I don't think we've seen him before, unless I'm mistaken.
I think we have once.
Okay. That's definitely possible. I feel like I would have remembered that, because that's a very unique name. But we'll see if he's got what it takes.
It could potentially be a name change, but I recognize the picture at least.
Okay.
I don't know if it's... I don't know.
All right. Well, just a couple more Tribe players to ready up, and we'll be good to
Could
go.
also be that they popped into a lobby and then popped out.
That is also true. Just waiting on Marshy and Jez, and now Bear, and should be good to go. Even with him being added in there, you got to think Tribe still has the advantage as far as just who you would expect to win. They've been so good throughout the season, and Zygnus would come into this the underdog regardless of who they have starting. And we have McJose leaving. I don't know if that's because somebody else is taking his place or something else, but a couple roster changes being made last minute.
think technically everybody has until midnight tonight to make their one change. So, oh, he's their manager. Okay. Gotcha.
Oh, that makes sense.
Okay, Ninja's coming. Cool.
All right. Well, there we go.
Yo, I heard through the grapevine Raballo's on phone now, so like any of you teams struggling to find another player, maybe hit my boy up.
Yep. Oh. I can't move my arms anymore. I've started working out again, and now I regret everything that I have ever done in life.
Yeah, I also cannot feel my arms, but that is because most of the day today I was working on a 1994 Dodge Ram
Oh.
that I spent all day air hammering out ball joints, and it just my whole body hurts.
I couldn't even tell you what that meant if I wanted to.
It's basically a jackhammer.
Oh, yeah, then that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. I feel like Jello. Tired. I want to sleep, but I also want to watch exciting Call of Duty games. Pretty much at this point, just trying not to fall asleep on stream. It's really the goal here.
Don't worry, chat. Warzone tomorrow. Don't go anywhere. Well, you can go to sleep, obviously, but make sure you come back.
I'll play some Warzone tomorrow for sure.
There we go. And I'm sure Zim will say yup in chat if he agrees to play Warzone as well.
But he's not in voice chat right now.
Oh,
so
yeah. Well, he'll say it in chat in a second. So I played with Noah, Hawksness, and Hitman until like 3:40 a.m. yesterday, and I decided I'm not doing that anymore. That was a terrible decision.
Maybe like 8 years ago.
Yeah. I don't have that, especially with a dog. If I didn't have a dog, I maybe could have pulled it off, but she woke me up at 6 a.m. after I went to bed at 3:40, and I was like, this is
like
not
4 years
the
ago.
move.
Like 3-4 years ago, I was up until like 4 o'clock every night, and now
Sheesh.
my body's like, dude, you can't be up past 11.
Are you in the game?
I got an error message.
Yeah, I did too.
Trying to reconnect. Okay, cool. So I'm not the only one. Reconnect to the game. Okay.
Okay.
Cool.
Weird.
Cool. Digging it.
I've never seen it sit at the loading screen this long. Maybe we got to run it back? I've never seen this happen.
Okay, B also got kicked out, so
Okay.
I don't know what to do here.
Did the game break or did the lobby break?
I also have another
I'm gonna hit quit game.
unstable connection.
Yep.
I quit the game.
Yep.
Hopefully it crashed for all the players as well.
Do not want to reconnect.
Cancel.
Okay, that was weird.
Okay, I seem to be in a lobby.
We'll get it figured out. Wait, is Molly in chat? Wait. Oh. Hey, Molly. How's it going? Based on how she's talking, I have a feeling that she's probably had a drink.
A drink.
Yeah, just one. Let's see. She is a mod. Okay, yes, she's a mod now. I think somebody gifted her a sub. I would complain that my own wife is not subscribed to my Trovo channel, but at the same time, it would just be me paying for a subscription to my own Trovo channel, so that wouldn't make a whole lot of sense.
I mean, Splitter, it appears we're in the game, buddy.
I'm loading back in now. All right, there we go. Now we're good to go.
Yeah, we're in the game, Splinter. Yeah. And it looks like we have 10 players in the game as well.
Yes, sir, we're good to go. Game number 2. And we do have Ninja now. Well, and everybody for Zygnus has left the game. Why? Oh my goodness. All right. Attempt number 3 incoming.
Ace is in chat now too, saying he's hopping on the phone grind. Let's go.
All right, well, there we go.
I'm excited.
Dave, just FYI, I do not have your face.
Yes, that is because my computer is dying, so...
Okay, no worries.
Yeah.
It happens.
I was planning on having an influx of money this month that didn't happen. So...
Suffering from success.
Yeah, as soon as we get the new computer, guys, we will not only have less Mobile Mayhem issues on my side, but we will also start streaming on Trovo.
Poggers, let's go. What are you gonna stream? Warzone?
So I play a lot of games. So I play a lot of Final Fantasy and Fire Emblem and COD and Heroes of the Storm. I'll probably play some combination of all of those.
Word.
Yeah.
Cream Tour with a couple of gifted subs. I appreciate
Maybe
it.
some
Thank you. Oh, some Wild Rift.
Yeah.
I wish I was more excited about Wild Rift than I am.
I mean, are you a mobile player?
I played Mobile Legends like a little bit back in the day, but not like a true mobile player.
Gotcha. I mean, that would be why you're not as excited for it.
Yeah.
So...
Splinter said,
Right.
play Resident Evil. Game is booming. Isn't that just like a story mode game, though?
Yeah, there may be some Resident Evil as well, Splinter. But as of right now, we are into the game. People are getting rocked left and right by the FAMAS. And by left and right, I mean that one kill
time.
that Floppy got. Yeah. I'm tired.
Yeah. It's all Arctic 50s in play, and were it to be one team that's dominant with Arctic 50, I would say I'm surprised nobody banned it. But given that the Arctic 50 is slaying out for both teams, nothing too surprising here. Bolu gonna go ahead and pick it up. We do have the bomb plant going in over on the B site for Bear, and Bolu not gonna be able to hit the initial shot. The pressure is on for the 1v3. Could potentially get the wall bang. I think he saw the barrel of the gun, but not going to take the shot quite yet. Oh, a wall bang onto Bear. Ninja still in the top side. He's got to be careful. Adapt over in that little cubby, and I believe he can see him. He's actually crouched behind the head glitch up on the top side, and now going to have to push up even further. Gonna actually get hit marker there. Ends up hitting the shot onto Ninja, but Adapt comes flying in. He'll be able to close out the round for Zygnus, and they will take the 1-0 lead.
Yeah, Zygnus answering it back to that 4v5 in a big way, picking up an opening win in Search and Destroy. Again, this is a team that has a lot of potential.
The 5,000 elixir, thank you!
You know, kind of in a position where they bring their A game, so have to see if they're able to continue the momentum. That's not the best way to start it out, with Saizu picking up a big opening pick, but Slothy and Bolu are going to get the kill on to Riots there. And Tribe are in a pretty good spot right now, sitting up 4-0, or 4 over 3. I don't know why I said 0. It's late. It's late. I'm old. But Tribe have a pretty solid defense set up here. Slothy was looking for the kill onto S-Thug, unable to find the bullets through the wall to get the kill. It was definitely an odd angle to try to get that pick, but there's definitely a lot of potential still ahead of both of these teams. There might be a little bit of trolling going on the side of Tribe right now.
Yeah, I saw 3 people bunched up like right on top of each other, and I was a little bit confused.
They were nodding at each other.
Okay. They seem to be better positioned right now. Is obviously Marshy taking a couple initial shots. You can't peek that Arctic 50 for very long. The combination of stopping power and FMJ just too difficult to contend with, and We've yet to see a plant go down, but a trophy system going in right there. Bear looking like he will be able to make it happen, and with the bomb down on B. The pressure to a certain degree on, but some RPGs going in. It's actually S-Thug taking some damage. Still staying alive for the time being. S-Thug actually going to be able to take out Jez right there, and just like that. It's a 3v3. Ninja takes out Marshy. It's a 2v2 now with S-Thug dropping to Slothy. Bear with the pistol shots, perfectly timed. Ninja just watching that bomb with the Arctic in hand. Hits the shot to close it out right there. And we actually have Cygnus now taking the lead, 2-0.
Yeah, that was an incredibly close round between these two teams, but as you mentioned, Cygnus was able to find the kill. There was a moment there where Marshy had shot a rocket over to try to stop the bomb plant, and it made me realize we need a javelin in COD Mobile.
Do we? Is that something we really need? Whoa! We just got
goodness.
50 gifted subs. What? Okay, congratulations to everybody that got a sub. What in the?
I got one. What the heck?
Well, that was. Thank you. We do have Cygnus once again with a 4-man advantage. It's all on for Marshy right here. Can't hit the initial shots. Cygnus in complete control following a pretty close matchup in the 4v5, and they looking like they're going to push things to a game number 3.
Yeah, and that would be really exciting between these two teams. Again, I don't know if Tribe has taken this game 100% seriously, just to be completely transparent on that. So I'm not sure if maybe Tribe are going to start stepping it up here a little bit. We do see Bolu. He does have a shotgun out. He's pretty content with just holding down this B door, maybe trying to look for a pick. As far as I can see currently, there's nobody really anywhere near him with the exception of maybe Adept, who's making his way over to B right now. But Bear is the first to get dropped, and that is a little bit unfortunate for Cygnus, who have had a lot of momentum so far in this game. But Tribe have also been up in Search and Destroy and still managed to drop the round, so only time will tell. There's a lot of game ahead of us. 3 rounds away from Cygnus picking up a win, or potentially 6 or more rounds away from Tribe being able to find a win here. Adept needs to play really, really cautious, though. If you round the corner into Bolu sitting there with a shotgun, you are going to get bodied, bro.
Yep, it's...
Oh, 6 health! Oh, my goodness.
Ninja very nearly got the wall bang onto the deli area. That little tin window, one of the more deadly wall bangs in the game, but I believe the player was actually just behind the heady, not able to land it, as Thug is going to find Jez once again. Cygnus with a man advantage. Bolu trying to make the push up, but there is a hard-scoped Arctic 50 on the other side of that wall. That backfires pretty quick. He is able to take out S-Thug, but the man advantage still there for Cygnus, just like that. Saizu evens things out, taking out Rights. Adapt with the plant over onto the B site just in time. Marshy taking shots, but it's not enough to stop the plant. Adapt with a really big kill right there, and the pressure is on for Saizu. He's got the BK-57 in hand, looking to make the push up. I believe we do have Ninja hard-scoping the doorway. That's going to be an easy kill for him. Cygnus taking the 4-0 lead.
Yeah, Cygnus are killing it right now, specifically looking at the likes of Ninja, who was their sub-player coming into this round, sitting up at 6 kills, and S-Thug, who again said right from that first matchup, he's going to take off moving into these Search and Destroy matchups. Saizu finds a big opening kill. Bear once again getting dropped. Jez finds S-Thug, and this may be the momentum stopping here, as Tribe flicked a switch and find a clean 5-0 sweep round there.
That's so weird to go from a 4-0 lead to, on the same side in Search and Destroy, you don't have a single player die. That's just the most obscure thing. That, and like you said, it could be Tribe just flipping the switch. They might have been just messing around up until now, and at this point they're really gonna turn it on. And I mean, as I say, I believe Ninja may have actually collided right there. Bolu with a shotgun in hand. Whoa!
Lost that round.
Things fell apart for Tribe really fast right there as I was trying to find another player to spectate. And before I could do it, everybody was dead. S-Thug and Ninja, 8 kills apiece. Zygnus, now at game point, looking to push things to game number 3.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. This is a big opportunity for Zygnus to, even if they don't end up winning the domination matchup, I mean, this is such a wild spot for them to be in to even potentially just deny Tribe outright 10 points, which would be absolutely huge. I mean, even if they don't win, again, it's a statement to push Tribe to this extent, so.
Planted.
Yep, a couple big kills coming in for this Zygnus team as Riot's able to take out Saizu. Bolu's still chilling around some corners. He's got a shotgun in hand. Trades go in once again. Jez takes out S-Thug. It's 2 shotguns remaining in play for Tribe Gaming as Ninja tries to find a pick, and he does onto Jez. Bolu's still on the inside. Riot's going to slide the doorway. Risky move right there. It looks like he's going to try to defend, and he's going to successfully do so as his teammate gets the defuse on in. And it's going to be a 6-1 win for Zygnus.
Yeah, that was giant for Zygnus. Again, no matter what happens in the domination at this point, I believe shy of the DQ in the first week against 11T. I think this will be one of the first times Tribe has been denied points in Season 5. So this is pretty big for Zygnus. Maybe the mods can fact check me. But actually, I can probably fact check myself. Hold on. Let's see here. Tribe. So the DQ to 11T. 2-0 Tribe. 2-0 Tribe. 2-0 Tribe. 2-0 Tribe.
It's been pretty
Tribe.
consistent.
This is the first time shy of the DQ that Tribe has lost a match.
Yep. That's actually a pretty big feat, especially for how they've been playing this season. So we did see, I mean, Zygnus obviously struggled in game number 1, but that was in a 4v5. So you can't really put too much stock in that. And with how much they dominated in game number 2, even though it is Search and Destroy, a very different game mode, you got to think Zygnus has a shot at actually winning this one.
Yeah, they definitely potentially do. We'll have to see moving into domination. I don't necessarily have the answer for you on why, but the teams that struggle in what, typically we say, oh, this team struggles in respawn but is really good in search, typically somehow that momentum carries over to domination. So we'll have to see if the same goes for Zygnus here. It does give leeway to maybe just that it's a little bit more static as far as the objective goes, as opposed to Hardpoint is very dynamic, moving around the map, having to find different spaces to defend. So a lot of it could be in the setup game. But again, this is the first time Tribe have been pushed to a game 3 at this point. So really, really big comeback for Zygnus there. A phenomenal 6-1 Search and Destroy win there. As we get ready to move into domination, we're going to be looking once again kind of in the hands of Bear and
I appreciate it, guys.
Primarily to be the slayers for this matchup. Again, S-Thug seems to struggle a little bit in Hardpoint, but Search and Destroy domination seem to be a little bit more his groove. Bear overall just an all-around slayer for the team. But then looking over at the likes of Tribe as well, you have obviously the likes of Bolu, you have the likes of Slothy and Jez, who are also just phenomenal slayers and objective players. So really goes into a lot of a strong suit for Tribe. I would give them the edge here in domination, but Zygnus could definitely spice things up and prove me wrong.
Yeah, I'm excited to see how this one plays out. Keeping in mind, we do have bans on the DRH and the ASM-10, so likely to see at least some Arctic 50s in play, at least at one point or another. That absolutely played a really big role for this Zygnus team, as a lot of those First Bloods were found with the Arctic 50, but we do have everybody readied up. That should mean we are good to go for our
We're very
first.
close to.
I think this is our first game 3 of the night.
Yes.
All right.
Yes. We almost had a game 3 with Invictus versus NL, but
Yeah, that's what it was.
been a long night. Been a long night so far.
And for people in chat who are asking for the standings, I'll go ahead and run through those real quick. So obviously, Tribe losing that one, going to prevent them from gaining too much ground on Trovo Mayhem. Highest they would be able to move tonight is 90 points. And Zygnus kind of in the middle of Division 2, but right now Division 2 definitely the weaker of the two divisions. If they are able to get that 10 points, would be able to tie up with Nova Imperium, who did get 2-0'd by Trovo Mayhem tonight, and definitely make things a lot spicier over in Division 2.
Yeah, you are absolutely right there, Bobby. And again, this Zygnus team has been honestly one of the more exciting new teams to watch, as well as 8 Kings. Obviously, Washi on Tuesday, just a nutty performance coming out of him in both the Search and Destroy as well as the Hardpoint matchup. And that was coming right out of the gate up against Tribe. I mean, that's realistically the toughest matchup that any team can go up against right now. So 8 Kings with a big performance against Tribe. We'll have to see if a team that I would consider more in the upper middle of the division will have an opportunity to really show their stuff here tonight. And then obviously we'll get to see more of them again in the future. But we have some pretty exciting matchups for you guys, specifically next Thursday as well. That looks like a heck of a night.
Yep. I'm really excited for Thursday. Everybody's been asking the entire season, when is Trovo Mayhem versus Tribe going to be? So I think a lot of people will definitely be here to tune into that one. That'll probably be one of the better nights of the season. I can't think off the top of my head what all the matchups that we have are, but I do remember seeing a couple additional matchups. Yeah.
So it's kind of hit or miss, right? So Trovo Mayhem versus Tribe Gaming obviously going to be the highlight for next Thursday. We do have NL versus Exiled. Not hugely expecting too much out of that matchup. 11T versus LA Gaming could be an interesting one. But specifically with the way Nova Invictus played today, I'm really excited to see them play up against Zygnus next week.
Oh, yeah, that'll be a really good matchup. And I think we might have another glitch lobby.
Yeah, we might. But we also are likely to have a listen-in with Tribe for you guys during this game.
Oh, yeah.
So
I mean, Tribe's legendary comms. Anybody
who
watched chat.
This is a different roster, though.
It is different, but
way different.
Yeah. Am I safe to just go ahead and quit the game? Because I'm assuming it probably won't let us.
That's what I did, and I'm back at the lobby. All good. Quit game, cancel, boom, back at the lobby. Got players readying up left and right.
Chat, I'm attempting to stretch to get rid of the lactic acid. Lactic acid is your worst enemy. Unless other things are your worst enemy. But for me, personally, I think we might have everybody readied up. Might be waiting on 1 or 2 to return. But we do have 8 Kings versus 11D after this match as well. Obviously, 11D is going to be favored to win that one. But I've got a feeling it's going to run pretty close.
I don't know.
Especially with the way that Washi was playing basically for the entire matchup on Tuesday night.
I mean, Washi had a season MVP-like performance on Tuesday, despite being on the team that lost. And the rest of his team did seem to struggle a little bit, but up against the likes of Tribe in your first on-stream Mobile Mayhem game, you do kind of got to give them a little bit of a cushion there. And against their matchup today, I feel like it's a little bit, I don't want to say easier, because Levity is also a good team, but it's definitely not as difficult as going up against Tribe in your first on-screen game.
Mm-hmm. And I think we have
Another bugged lobby.
Another bug Please don't make this like a regular thing for the rest of... I don't even know what could be causing this. I don't know if this is like...
I'm just going to blame B.
Yeah, we'll just assume that it's B's fault. And
Actually, B is not feeling good today. Let's not blame B.
Okay.
Let's blame Splinter.
You know what, chat? You know what we really need?
Or Zim. Zim's not here to defend himself. We can blame Zim.
We need to check in on Dogecoin. That's what we really need. It's been kind of chilling throughout the day today. I mean, to be fair, it spiked at 3 a.m. yesterday, so maybe they'll get another Elon Musk 3 a.m. tweet. We'll have to wait and see on that one. We got everybody ready up again. Here we go. Attempt number 3. Let's see what it's going to be. Wait. Well, that
3
was
is either third time's the charm or 3 strikes you're out. So we will have to see.
TDB. For everybody asking, yes, the stream is on YouTube. And for everybody on YouTube asking, yes, the stream is also on Trovo.
Start match failed. Please press ready. Everybody is ready. Oh, Bear's not ready. Okay. All right, we're in a game, hopefully. Yes!
Hey! Would you look at that? It's a thing of beauty.
Oh my god, it's 9:30 already. Oh god.
Dude,
I'm so tired.
dude, it's easy. It's easy, bro. All right, here we go. Tribe on wood side. We got Zygnus over on tin side. Obviously, both teams expecting to get the easy initial cap. The battle for B will begin as we do see Zygnus taking control of trailer off the start, sending pretty much all their resources over there, and Tribe with a really big feed. Slothy, 2 kills off the start, making it 3. The push on in, really big for them, and that is going to be an easy B cap for Tribe Gaming.
Yeah, and again, you do expect Tribe to have a little bit more of an edge in Search and Destroy. I mean, going into this matchup, I would have given them the edge in Search and Destroy as well. But in respawns, honestly, Tribe are they're on another level for the most part. We did actually have a B cap coming through out of Zygnus there. Really, really strong rotation out of them. Bear and S-Thug filling up the feed for them right now. 3 kills apiece for the team. Adat, Ninja, and Riot's all sitting down at 1. Looking over at Tribe, it's Slothy and Jez with 5, 6, and then Bolu with 2. So a lot of back and forth kills. Jez already picks a Pred missile up. And I'm going to be honest, I'm not entirely sure I like the essentially instant call in there. I would like to see them get B first. Saizu finds a triple wallbang over onto A through wood. That was absolutely huge. That's going to put him 1 kill away from a Pred, but he's going to get dropped by Bear. Jez has a Goliath.
Yeah, that's so does
Slothy
Slothy.
has a
Yeah,
Goliath.
2
Yeah.
Tribe players with Goliath off the start. That is a really good sign. And Slothy trying to find, I believe, Ninja on the inside, or Riot's on the inside of trailer, but Riot's going to be able to win that gunfight. And with a double cap in play, looking like it may very soon be a triple cap. Tribe very much in control. A Goliath on the way in as well. Jez going to go ahead and hop in. The B flag is in control of Zygnus, but it looks like that is not going to last very long. Bear trying to do some damage, and somehow with the trophy system down, does manage to get a hit marker onto Jez, but staying alive and now making the rotation on over to Wood. It is going to be a Tribe triple cap for what looks to be quite a while right now, as Jez really maintaining that control all by himself, and that's really going to force Zygnus up the mid side, which could show to be some additional frags for Tribe Gaming.
I would, for all intensive purposes, say at least for the side of Zygnus, this is not one of the better domination Goliath maps, shy of being able to hold down like trailer, for example.
Yeah.
The Goliaths really function a lot better in situations where you can get it inside on an objective and protected. So that is something that we'll have to keep an eye out for. I mean, Jez has actually been alive for quite a while. I'm kind of shocked that we haven't seen more missiles come on at it. But he has kind of been hovering over some trophy systems. Like right now, he's sitting next to a trophy system, so that could be a little bit of the strategy for him to make the rotations back and forth. And Zygnus actually find 4 in the feed there for themselves, which is big. But that is going to be round 1 going over to Tribe with a 59-point lead. And not a great position for Zygnus to be in, especially since Slothy is still sitting on a Goliath of his own.
Yeah, you got Slothy with a Goliath, you got Jez with a Pred missile, and right now Zygnus down 60 points and only sending 1 player over to A. That could be disastrous as well. I think we actually do have a spectator glitch for Jez, because for me it's showing that he still has a Goliath. We do see him up on the top side, calls that Pred missile in, clearing out that mid area, trying to take control of the B flag and close this one out relatively early, but Slothy's going to go ahead, slide through right there, finds yet another frag, and time again, coming through in one of those top fragging roles. Obviously not quite where Jez is, but still playing a really big role for this Tribe Gaming team. Bear, the only player on Zygnus, able to move into double digits. Jez now up to 22, running through this team. Very close to an advanced UAV, and at this point in time, it's going to take an absolute miracle for Zygnus to get a win. I believe Adapt actually AFK, and somehow comes back in time to get the grab spike kill. I don't know how Jez managed to miss that one, but
it was bait. It was all bait.
The perfect bait right there, as we do have Zygnus back on C, trying to claw their way back into this game.
Yeah, they are trying, but it's going to be a difficult one. Tribe feel like they're playing with an absolute vengeance. Not happy that they lost out on their 10 points in that search and destroy matchup. So they are just fragging out left and right. Tribe filling up the feed. Adapt actually does pick up a kill there, but it's not long before Jez is able to find the kill onto S-Thug, putting up a double for himself. We are now sitting at about a 90-point lead for Tribe right now. So, with them maintaining the triple cap, I think we're basically in reverse triple cap.
Yeah.
for Zygnus to pull off a win here. I'm going to say that's going to be near impossible. They need to hold a triple cap for like 2 minutes. So, not a great position to be in if you are Zygnus, especially with the way Tribe are playing. Jez has another Goliath ready to go.
And
Aizu has a Goliath ready to go.
I mean, Jez is at 34 kills. Like, Jez by himself could probably, if the rest of his teammates disappeared, still clutch this up. All you got to do is hold 1 flag. And I mean, at this point, you don't even have to hold a flag. Even if you were to have a triple cap in play for Zygnus for the entire rest of the game, it wouldn't be enough to pull off the comeback with only
120 points on the board if Zygnus got a triple cap for 2 minutes.
Yeah,
so.
And Zygnus, I'm not going to say their luck ran out, because they definitely played that search and destroy really well, but Tribe showing that they are the kings of respawn as Slothy somehow wins that gunfight, nearly had a double kill or a triple kill to close that one out. And that is going to be one of the easier domination wins that we've seen all season long, as Tribe Gaming comes out on top. I believe 200 to 57 or something like that. Yep.
Yeah. We still didn't listen to the Tribe.
Oh, shoot. Dang it. Yeah, sorry,
it's so hard to remember. It's a new feature for us here, guys.
And also, it's just been a really long day. There's a lot happening.
It's hard to remember when there's so much exciting gameplay going on.
Yep. Honestly, the comps probably weren't that interesting anyway, because they had to triple cap for pretty much the entire second half. So, you know what? You didn't really miss out on anything. Jez going 34-9. Sheesh! Triple positive right there. Big plays for the Tribe Gaming MVP. Bear doing his best, but not going to be quite enough when you got, what is that, 2 players at least going double negative, Estho going triple negative, which is surprising because at least when it comes to search, he's been good, but we've seen a lot of these search and destroy strong players struggle a lot when it comes to the respawns. going to need to step things up or just work on team chemistry and finding the player that you need to be the substitution when it comes to the respawn. But it will be Tribe Gaming gaining the 10 points right there, coming out on top. And that will get us ready for our final match of the night, which is going to be 11T versus 8 Kings.
Yeah, and again, really big credit going over to the side of Zygnus there. They are the first team to take a game off of Tribe. So pretty big name, or big performance at least from them there. 11T did beat Tribe in the first week, but in unconventional ways. Tribe actually lost to themselves on the first day of the tournament, so Tribe did get the 2-0 over 11T as far as the physical game went. So again, Zygnus, really big search and destroy performance as well. I mean, Ninja came in as a sub and then nearly top fragged for the team in search and destroy. Definitely struggled quite a bit in domination, and I'm gonna be honest, I can't believe S-Thug did as poorly as they did in domination. I expected S-Thug to pop off there.
Yeah. Just wasn't able to find his rhythm. And sometimes it's just one of those days where you're not able to get anything going, and that's just the way that it is. Hopefully we'll be able to bounce back. And honestly, just taking away 10 points from Tribe, a pretty big achievement for them, is that's not something anybody has been able to do so far this season. Not a bad night of gameplay for Zygnus and nothing to scoff at for them. Taking a look at our bans and our maps for the final matchup. Over for 11, banning domination on firing range. Once again, interesting decision. 8 Kings banning Scrapyard Hardpoint. That's been one of the more common ones that we've seen. The weapon bans, pretty much exactly what we've come to expect from most of these teams. 11T banning the ASM-10. 8 Kings banning the DRH. Supposedly, both of those guns were nerfed in the past season, but not quite effective enough. As far as the map picks, game number 1 is going to be Raid Hardpoint. Game number 2, Meltdown, Search, and Destroy. And if we go to it, game number 3 is going to be Hackney Yard Domination.
For the people who clearly haven't been around for Mobile Mayhem that are still asking, I lost a bet. I had to shave my head. We have hair growing back. It wasn't really a favorable choice, but I followed through because I'm a man of my word. That is that, but we have what I expect to be a phenomenal matchup ahead of us here with 11T and 8 Kings. Obviously, names we've grown to know and love on the side of 11T. We're a monster in Search and Destroy. The likes of Yuji as well, picked up from the NL roster over here for 11T. Been a phenomenal player for the team. Really killed it on Tuesday. Parka as well. Phenomenal roster over here for 11T. Not as much has been seen of 8 Kings, specifically just because they are newer to the league, but absolutely a big bit of potential from them, especially looking at Washi's performance against Tribe on Tuesday. So definitely should be a good one to get into.
And OBS decided to disconnect, but honestly, better that it happens before the Parker raid than after the Parker raid, so it's just the way that it be sometimes. We are back, and we do have all of 11D loaded in. Actually, I believe that Super is their manager, so one more player needs to show up, but
correct.
Their starting roster has been very consistent throughout. I would say probably the most consistent starting roster. Yuji, Just, Parka, and Zai, and then Wiru is definitely the one other player that you expect to see in here. We do see a very similar roster loading in for 8 Kings. I believe I saw somebody in chat actually saying that IPN was not going to be playing for them tonight. So we will likely get to see a new player for them. We do have Washi, Skizzle, E-Molly, and MJ all loaded in. Obviously, Washi, even though 8 Kings was not able to get the win on Tuesday night, had a 39-kill hardpoint and also some ridiculous snipes in Search and Destroy. So That's going to be one of the players we're definitely excited to watch. I believe Gucci going to be the player getting loaded in for 8 Kings right there. As maybe Super's playing, or maybe we need a slot to open up. And he left, so I think
he's
we should
not on the roster.
Okay.
So
and there's Wuru,
yeah,
so
there's Zero.
as expected.
He's just gotta flex his UI Goku profile picture, you know?
Yeah. True.
Yeah, I'm definitely excited to see this one. I mean, because again, Washi had a big performance on Tuesday up against essentially the top team in the league. So we'll have to see if he was just feeling it that day or what's going on. Obviously, 11T not going to be a pushover team. They did struggle a little bit in the first week or two, but really have come together as a team these past couple of weeks. So expect really, really big things out of 11T. Honestly, and not to roast, because again, going up against Tribe in your first Mobile Mayhem on-stream game, not really the most ideal situation to be in for 8 Kings. But the rest of the team did seem to struggle a little bit up against Tribe on Tuesday. So we'll have to see if the rest of them can bring their game up a little bit and maybe give them the edge that they need. Because again, up against Tribe, they had really, really close matchups in Hardpoint, as well as a lot of the Search and Destroy rounds. So 11T feels like a more even matchup for them, is I guess the best way to put it.
Yeah, I think this is going to be a really good test. I mean, obviously any of the teams are going to be a good test, but there's definitely a significant division between what you consider to be the top teams and maybe some of the easier points that you're going to get toward teams at the bottom of the standings. So we do have an 8 Kings team that's been able to field 20 points, but this is not going to be an easy 20 points when you're talking about 11T, a lot of experience. I mean, obviously, Parka and Yuji have been around the competitive scene for a long time, but really so far, Wiru has been the biggest factor for 11T, especially when it comes to Search and Destroy. And if he pops in
Search and Destroy.
Yeah, if he pops off in the respawn, that's when things start to get really, really lopsided. So we'll see if that continues to be a trend for 11T. Just waiting on a couple more players. But this is it's definitely going to be a really good matchup for our final game of the night.
You will lose. There is nobody after these guys. This is the last matchup of the night. 11T versus 8 Kings.
Yep.
But, honestly, this should be a great way to close out the night. Because, again, I feel like this is a little bit more even of a matchup for 8 Kings being a incredibly new roster. We do have players readying up on both sides. We have moderators spamming the start button. That must mean that the screenshots are in and ready to go. Just waiting on Parka to ready up, and we'll get you guys into this game. And he will probably ready up as soon as the raid happens. So that's usually what happens for him. So
I see people in chat asking about Warzone after Mobile Mayhem. Some things have come up. Both Day and I will be busy, so unfortunately,
I'll be sleeping. You're gonna be busy.
Yeah,
I'm gonna be sleeping.
I'm gonna be doing stuff that is not fun, but we're gonna try to get some Warzone games tomorrow night. So get your notifications turned on.
I downloaded it on my computer.
Well,
so
there we go. Step 1.
Yeah. Step. Learn all the buttons on computer, and so, well, I guess I could hook up the Xbox controller.
Yeah. We are hopping into the action, as you can see. Both teams making their way on over to the hardpoint. Parka, actually with the sniper out initially, finds the frag onto Washi. That's going to be really big. He was able to find 1 kill off the start, but really pretty much everything going the way of 11T, at least for right now. Just finds one onto Skizzle as well, and it's going to be 20 easy points off the start for 11T. Is really, right now, nobody for 8 Kings able to get anywhere close to the hard point.
Yeah, definitely not a great start for them, but 11T have a incredible defense set up yet, or so far. Just popped off pretty hard. 4 kills on the board for him off of the first fight, so definitely expect to be seeing him pop off. Turns on Skizzle there. Skizzle had absolutely no reason to lose that fight. That was purely unfortunate for him there. Washi gonna pick up a kill on to Yuji, but Washi, as expected, leading the team in kills right now.
Yep, and he's definitely looking to get a little more help from his teammates. 5 kills for him, 5 kills from his rest of the team in total. Gonna get taken out on the hard point, just looking to make the push on in. 3 players set up in the surrounding area, as we do have 8 Kings pretty solidly in control, and despite the 60-point hard point going in for 11T off the start, we do have Washi now making the push back in. Gets a couple of frags, but it is going to be 11T with the break right here. 3 players on point. Gucci going to get taken out. Molly still yet to pick up a kill. Despite the big plays from Washi, going to need to see more out of his teammates if they're going to have a shot at winning this matchup.
Yeah, being down at 10 points, definitely not the position you want to be in if you are the side of 8 Kings. Washi doing the work he can, but as you mentioned earlier, the games where Wiru pops off in respawn, 11T just seems like a different kind of team, and he's sitting up at 7 kills right now. So being on P3 with the kills across the board being at the top echelon right around 7 and 8, I would say that well bars a good performance coming out of him, just picking up kill number 9 on to Molly, who is found absolutely no ground this game. I mean, Molly is absolutely struggling to find any sort of groove. Gucci picks up a kill on the Parka. Skizzle finds a double. I forgot who, or I missed who the first one was, but he does get the kill on to Wiru there. You're going to find themselves the second half of Garage, but honestly, if you're 11T, I think you give up Garage at this point. I don't know why you're fighting over the last 20 seconds. Set up for basketball court. Get your defense ready before you know, even if they were to win that fight there and give up the last, or get the last 15 seconds back, they'd be giving the respawn on a basketball court up to the side of 8 Kings, which is not a great situation to be in. Fortunately for them, they lost the gunfights. They spawned back on basketball court, and I think this is the best situation for 11T right now.
Yeah, Washi once again slaying out. 12 kills for him. It's only Parka on the head glitch able to stop him right there. Emolly able to finally get the trade, finally gets a kill on the board, and hopefully that will start something for them, although immediately taken out by the Pred missile from Parka. Just Wiru holding down the top side of basketball court. We do have Washi on the bottom side, but he's not going to be able to win the gunfight. Wiru getting a few frags with the Annihilator, now up to 11 for him. He and Parka both making their way up into double digits. Skizzle trying to slide that corner, and Wiru actually misses the initial shot, but he now has full streaks. He's got a Goliath. He's got a sentry gun. He's got a Pred missile. He is going to get taken out, but you got to think that's going to make things a lot easier when it comes to defending his teammates on the inside of that hard point, and also making the rotation on up to P4.
Yeah, and
P5.
The side of 8 Kings have basically quintupled their points, so not a great situation for them to be in. Still down at 50, 60 area. They do pick up a little bit of trickle there, but as we move on into our P5, this is where I think, with, again, the way Wiru's playing right now, this is where 11T should really, realistically start to take things back over and just close things out, but as I say that is actually a really big push in by the side of 8 Kings, and they're going to get control of P5.
I mean, Washi is just something else. 17 kills for him. He was single-handedly holding down that hard point for 8 Kings, able to get them an additional 25 points right there. Just is going to end up getting taken out by MJ. He's got an Annihilator in hand, which is definitely a good sign for them, and he is not missing a shot right now. Pretty good amount of hill time going in for 8 Kings, and looking like this is going to be a closer matchup than it seemed like it would be off the start. Zai making his entry on into the hard point. No contest right here, but MJ able to take that additional scrap time and now making the push on out. Yuji has decided he's going to pull out the shotgun. he's had a really slow start, but since pulling that out, a couple of easy picks, and he may very well start to heat up for Levante.
Looking to be the case. We're up at 17 kills as well. Parka rocking the 12. Yuji struggling a little bit more in hardpoint than we normally see out of him. So this is certainly a little bit concerning for the side of Levante. I mean, again, with Wiro playing the way he is, it's not really hurting them too much. But Yuji has been one of the more consistent players for the side of Levante here. So definitely something to keep an eye out as we move forward. And we do have 8 Kings once again in control of a hard point. They've got about 30 seconds left on the clock. It's not enough to take the lead, but it's enough to close what was nearly a 100-point gap down into just about 20 or 25 points or so.
And we do have a Goliath on the way in for 11. That is not a good sign for 8 Kings, who's done a lot to make this comeback happen. Washi gets another frag right there, but we're going to march on in to P2 with a Goliath. Pretty close to full health right now, and you're going to need, if you're 8 Kings, some type of operator to try to get a break right here. Washi not close enough to call in that Sparrow. Gucci does have gravity spikes, but obviously that's not going to be enough to eliminate it. Skizzle has a Tempest in hand. We've actually seen that be one of the most powerful counters to the Goliath, so we may very well see him pull that out. He does win the gunfight right there, slides the corner, takes out Zai as well. He's got the Tempest to work with, pulls it out. He hits the shots, perfectly played by him. That is an easy destruction on the Goliath, and just able to get the frag, but taken out on the inside of the hard point. Yuji finding some big frags as well, but not able to take out Washi, who is doing everything he can. 29 kills on the board for this man, as he is single-handedly keeping his team in the game.
Okay, I'm going to be honest with you here, Bobby. We haven't seen a nuke in Mobile Mayhem yet.
True.
I'm starting to think if anybody's going to do it, it might be Washi, because this kid is absolutely nuts. I don't know if you're planning on playing in the what was it before that we did with you in Godsley?
The All-Star game?
Yeah, the All-Star game.
Yeah.
I don't know why it was drawing a blank for me. You might want to be considering Washi at this point, because he is absolutely cracked. I could build you an all-star team right now, Bobby.
I'm gonna actually, I remembered, I'm gonna go for a listen in with 8 Kings as they do attempt to get this break onto P3. It's all on the line for this game.
I can contest.
Yup.
Try getting a test. It's the last one.
Push it, Skizzle, push it. Oh yeah.
AC dead.
One
The
do
last
that,
one
two
is the
there,
last one
two
is.
there. Hey,
Zig dead.
One
Blue
middle,
dead.
one
Stay alive.
One
Go
up
next.
that,
Go new.
They're already in.
It's alright. They have 2 at old. They have 2 at old.
Good shit, guys.
Push it.
Kitchen dead.
Yeah, set up.
Nice,
We need someone in
keep
kitchen. We need
going.
someone in kitchen.
Keep going. One stairs. He's on left side.
Dead.
Nice.
One more.
Dead. Hold it.
Yo, mid steps. Pushing.
Watch mid.
Yeah,
He's
watch
going
it,
outer
go.
pool.
I have my
Go
neither.
on full. Nice, good shit.
Hey, Goliath is kitchen.
Alright, focus on Goliath.
Yeah, focus on the glass.
Goliath's dead. Goliath's dead.
Nice, good stuff.
Nice. Stay on point.
I'll play point.
Yo,
I'm gonna go kitchen. They smoke laundry.
Yeah, focus laundry. MJ,
2 kitchen.
play point. I'm
They're all kitchen. One's tree.
Yeah, kitchen.
And honestly, very, very clean comms from that team. Not chaotic at all. Very, very distinct. It is going to be 11T coming out on top. I didn't even realize it was that close. Somehow they were able to get the break right there. And unfortunately for 8 Kings, it is going to be 11T coming away with the win. But definitely a lot closer than it seemed like it was going to be, especially based off how the start of the game went. Obviously, Washi with the big carry as expected. 31 kills for him. Top frag for the entire game. And honestly, like we know it's not just his gun skill with the AR, not with the SMG, but this man can do it with the sniper as well, which also gets me excited to watch what we've got ahead in Search and Destroy.
Yeah, the interview we had with Piano before we watched their game on Tuesday specifically mentioned that Washi is primarily a sniper player. So to see him with such a strong Slayer performance as well is just honestly absolutely nutty. He's a phenomenal player. I mean, he's almost like, without throwing him under the bus, he's almost like the new tech, in my opinion. So we'll have to see if that continues as we move forward. Hopefully chat doesn't roast me too much over that, because I'm sure there will be plenty of tech fanboys out there that are like, lol, you wrong. But if he keeps playing like this, I don't care what you say. So
yeah. I mean, at some point, you got to let the game speak for itself, and his game absolutely does speak for itself. And just, even though we've only seen him so far in, a total of 3 games, each and every one of those, he has been top fragged by, like, double what the next person below him is on his team. So you got to think that 8 Kings, definitely a solid team, might not have what it takes to make it to the playoffs, especially entering later on in the season. But this is a player that you've also got to think some teams may potentially look at picking him up with the way that he's been playing right now.
potentially could be the case. Could be the set team as well. Sounds like these guys have got pretty close over the past couple weeks, so I'd actually like to see them stick together. Obviously, you could look and say, oh, well, Washi could find another team, but a lot of it is going to be based around building your teamwork and kind of feeling each other out on how you guys play and tightening up some of those rotations. I feel like it's not so much, despite the kills being much lower on the side of 8 Kings, with the exception of Washi. I don't actually feel like they suffer a ton in the gun skill department. It's a lot more in the you have players getting picked off by making poor rotations or maybe weak callouts. We'll have to see as things develop. But I have a lot of faith in 8 Kings. I have a lot of faith in 8 Kings.
Yeah, this is definitely the underdog story of the season, and excited to see what the next matchup has for us. We're going to be in Search and Destroy on Meltdown for game number 2. I believe this was actually, if I'm not mistaken, was this the Search and Destroy map that NL played versus 11T? Or am I thinking of something else?
I can double check right now.
Or no, that was Raid. So I am thinking of something else, but always an entertaining Search and Destroy map. Just waiting on Wiru right now. It's typically one of the biggest factors when it comes to Search and Destroy. If you're 11G.
Xset versus Zygnus was on Search and Destroy Meltdown, and Xset actually pulled a phenomenal win off there.
Oh, that's probably what I was thinking of.
See, I knew I was gonna get roasted by chat, but I don't care. I don't care, guys. It's playing great.
I mean, chat, you can say what you want, but like, the dude's not even 18. He's very, very young, and already just dominating in every game that he gets into.
Granted, we've only seen him in a day and a half of competition so far, but we are boiling into the Search and Destroy matchup here. This is specifically where we expect Wiru to shine. And again, you mentioned it perfectly at the beginning, Bobby. If Wiru shows up in the respawn, things often look very good for 11T. And that was absolutely the case in that first matchup. So moving on into our Search and Destroy, which is normally where Wiru already pops off and struggles in respawn. If he's that on fire in respawn for today, you expect big things coming out of him in Search and Destroy as well. But Washi finding a big opening pick onto Yuji there.
And I don't know what I was thinking. Just actually perfectly positioned. Great trigger discipline. He gets 3 kills out of it. Pulls out the FHJ. Really, really big for 11D right there. Molly trying to cross map with that LK24. Skizzle takes out Parka. Some shots going in. Zai's gonna win the gunfight with the sniper in hand. Skizzle trying to take him out. It's not gonna happen. The defuse will go in for Wiru, and it will be a 1-0 lead for 11T as we do get ready to hop into our final search and destroy of the night.
Yeah, and just popped off in a big way for 11T there, picking up 3 kills, and then Zai as well, picking up 2, really helping them secure the win there. Washi was able to pick off an opening player in that last game. He did pick up Yuji, but this time it's Yuji finding the kill on to Skizzle. That's going to be absolutely huge for 11T after they bounce back from that round 1 win, and a dominant hardpoint win as well. So a lot of game ahead of us. This could still go either way, but we have Washi getting set up in Nest.
Yeah, he's in a good spot with the bomb down, but players dropping left and right. Wiru with the big flank right there. Gucci all by himself is gonna land shots, but just turns on him right there. 5 kills for him through the first 2 rounds. He's gonna be able to get the defuse as well. If you're 8 Kings, you gotta at least win that gunfight to give your team a shot at winning the round. LaFlame with another 500 elixir. Sheesh! Or wait, 5,000. I appreciate it. Thank you. If we could get some dono hype in the chat, that'd be great. We do have 8 Kings off to a slow start, but we do a lot of times see things be a little bit more lopsided on Meltdown Search and Destroy, so definitely don't count them out, and also they've got time to adapt as well. We see them playing a lot more passive right here. Washi trying to land the initial pick. Spots the head of, I believe, Zai on the backside right there. Zai trying to land the jump shot. Neither player able to make anything happen. And now the nade's going to come out. Looks like probably not the right spot. Parka currently waiting over on the A site for anybody that might try to push up. And Washi's still looking for that first blood. Both teams looking for the first blood, to be honest. And the longer this goes on, the more it is going to favor 11T. Zai trying to hit a wall bang with that Arctic 50 in hand. Not able to make it happen. Actually spots Washi, but not able to land the shot quite in time. Smoke starting to go out as it looks like 8 Kings now going to make the push on over toward the A site. Shots going up toward Parka. That should clear out that side. And Washi trying to scope in. Not sure that's an angle you would really love to hold with a sniper. It's going to be impossible to get the one tap, but Washi takes out Parka. Just like that, Molly finds Wiru. It's going to be a man advantage for this 8 Kings team. Zai looking to make the push in. Washi picks up an AR as well and slides the corner perfectly, but just... I mean, he's just not missing right now. He's been perfect, but MJ with a big turn right there. Now a 2v2. One player at the bottom. Skizzle able to save his life. MJ in a little bit of a risky spot, as I believe Yuji was right at the top of that manhole cover, but he's only got an outlaw to work with. Now able to pick up the LK, but that's going to allow the opposing team to reposition. That's going to make it that much more difficult to find a pick, and with only 36 HP as a result of the nade right there, that's going to be an easy frag for MJ, and 8 Kings bouncing back as they will take their first round of Search and Destroy.
Yeah, and they definitely needed that. That was a big clutch round for MJ there. Skizzle 3 kills on the board, but a couple of those were picked up earlier. Washi as well finding another kill for himself, so have to keep an eye on it. They've got 2 rounds if you include this one on offense, and offense really determines the factor and the speed of the game on Search and Destroy Meltdown, so definitely keep an eye out for if they try to switch rotations up back and forth. Obviously the A plant that time around really working out for them. Yuji with a giant frag picks up Skizzle there. It's going to put the side of 8 Kings in a wow. Oh my goodness.
I don't even know how he had the time to hit the shoot button right there. Unfortunately, things falling apart pretty quickly. We're going to land shots on Gucci from behind. MJ all by himself, a 1v3, trying to clutch up. Gets the first kill, not able to get the second. Wiru landing the shots when he needs to make it happen. Zai's going to be able to get the defuse right there, and it will be 11T extending their lead out to 2 rounds as they move up to 3-1.
Yeah, and we're having a decent game for the side of Levity right now, but it's really just carrying it super hard over here. He's really been able to get value in the 7 kills that he has. In those 7 kills, there's at least 3 or 4 of them at this point that have been saving a teammate. Yuji actually picks up the kill onto Washi there. Molly will trade it out. It looks like the A plant is going to come, or the A side push comes through out of the side of 8 Kings. MJ finds one but gets dropped, and that is going to be a 4-1 lead for Team 11T right now. And this is absolutely huge for them because, again, we're showed up in the respawn, really helped them win that hardpoint match. And overall, 11T just doing incredible here in Search and Destroy as well.
Yeah, nothing really going the way of 8 Kings. MJ up at 7 kills, but not getting a whole lot of help. We do see the switch of sides right now, and we'll see if that does anything for 8 Kings. Washi trying to find the snipe, and he does just that, taking out Just, who's been the biggest factor for 11T so far. One player looking like they might peek Sniper's Nest, and trying to hit some smoke shots right here. Yuji going for the jump shot, and Washi is there. Hits the follow-up onto Wiru. This man cannot be stopped. Okay, sometime he can be stopped, but oh my gosh, the shots he's hitting right now. Absolutely ridiculous. Parka not quite having the game that he would love to be having. He's going to hit a lot of shots. A double kill right there, actually. And right now, if you're 8 Kings, you're just trying to avoid getting 1v5'd as he played that about as perfectly as he could have. Skizzle takes a shot right there. He's going to back up as well. MJ just camping the Sniper's Nest, and Parka looking to make the push out. He's got a player right next to him, and really poorly timed shots for MJ, especially when you don't have an angle to do it. What was a 1v5 is now down to a 1v2, and Parka going to take some shots, but still able to get away with his life, and somehow looking to make this miracle happen. We do have Skizzle down the back side. You can see the laser sight of Washi peeking through mid, and if you're Parka, I don't know why exactly you would try to push that angle. He's not going to be able to get the 1v5, and it will be 8 Kings bouncing back, taking round 6.
It would be a long comeback, but they absolutely could make it happen. Obviously, here in the second half of things, we do have 11T with bomb control. Looks like they are going to make the B side push once again. And this is where you definitely have to take a lot of credit into what kind of push or what kind of picks the snipers are going to make. Just has Molly right in front of him, but it doesn't matter. Zai finds a perfectly placed frag right into the face of Molly. I mean, that was near like frag headshot potential, but just does barely make it out alive there. Washi was looking for the kill. He ducks down behind just in time. Zai gonna pick up the kill on to Washi there. It's now a 5 versus 3. This is looking absolutely like an 11T 5-2 win, and I don't think a miracle can save MJ here right now. Even with 7 kills on the board, doesn't matter. Just is gonna find that kill, and that's 5-2 match point for the side of 11T.
Yep, and despite the good effort from 8 Kings, obviously right now the experience from 11T just too much. Just up at 10 kills, and really everybody else having a decent game as well. Gucci, unfortunately for 8 Kings, still stuck down at 0 kills, and really that is not going to make the cut. We do see the aggressive push coming in for 11T right here. Just chunked from a grenade, but able to make his way up to the bomb site. Going to get the plant down onto B. The pressure will be on for 8 Kings once again. We see the attempted wallbang right there for Washi. Not going to be able to make it happen. We got Just down on the bomb site, and not a lot of time to work with Molly dropping it off. Zai finds the frag right there. Parka finding another to MJ. Things looking bleak with Washi dropping off. Things basically impossible at this point, and Yuji gonna pull out the Outlaw, see if maybe he can find a couple additional frags. Yuji and Skizzle trying to make something happen. I think we might have had a player disconnected in mid. Skizzle is able to get 1 frag, but he is now in a 1v3 with 8 seconds, which means there's not going to be enough time either way. It will be 11T coming out on top 6-2, and that will be it for our final game of the night, as a great effort from Washi and 8 Kings once again just comes up a little bit short of the powerhouse that is showing themselves to be 11T.
Yeah, and 11T have done phenomenal. You said it absolutely best, and I know I mentioned this a couple times, Bobby, but when Weru shows up in Respawn, 11T as a whole seem to do well for the series, so that is going to be kind of the big thing to watch out for this team moving forward is how does their hardpoint go, because that's very likely going to determine a lot of how the rest of their games are going to go as well. So that should be all we have for you guys here tonight, but make sure you guys join us again next week on the Amplified channel. I'm sure if Zillionaire is still around, he'll probably put the channel link in chat for you guys, because that's where we will be streaming on Tuesday.
Yep. And then on Thursday, we do have Tribe Gaming versus Trovo Mayhem. Probably the most anticipated game of the season. Make sure you guys are there for that one. But that is going to be it for the stream. Thank you, as always, today to our admins, to the players, everybody who has helped us out and made everything possible here. Once again, another fantastic season of Mobile Mayhem, and excited to see us start to move toward the end to see which of the teams are going to make it out on top. Thank you guys for watching. Hope you enjoyed. If you're on YouTube, like and subscribe. If you're on Trovo, make sure to hit the follow button. Without any more talking, we're going to go ahead and call it a day. Thanks for watching, and we will see you guys in the next one.